Tony, do you even remember how to drive one of these?
It's not something you forget. You should know that. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple.
Winning quality in every bite.
And welcome to Hard Knocks qualifying night number 3 here at the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Glad to have you with us here for the Sage Fruit Stage pre-race show. I'm Tony Bokhoven. Brian Liskai joins me as my co-host tonight, and Rico Abreu, our first guest of the evening. So Rico, hard work's out of the way now. You get to have a little fun, relax a little bit. Tell us what your day's been like.
Yeah, definitely some relaxing. I went to the rec center this morning, ran some errands over to my team. They're over in the Pomida parking lot working on our car, cleaned my helmet up, and then went back to the rec center and actually had a high limit team meeting today, with all the team owners and sanctioning body just to go over kind of where high limit's at. So quite interesting to sit in on that and listen to everybody's, and see where the growth is for the series. So, just to be here interacting with the fans. Today's definitely a relaxing day after last night. It's good to be in this position right now.
Yeah, once you get through the qualifying and you were on your way to win, and then things happen, right? And does that work on you, or do you finally just at the end of the night you kind of step back and say, hey, guess what? We had a good night overall. We're locked in. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, ultimately Saturday's the big picture, and I really focused this week on just making sure I'm in position for Saturday night. Sunday, we had an incredible run at the Capitani Classic, and then brought that momentum into Thursday night. It can get very intense just with the format that Knoxville Raceway produces here with the inversion, and you got to qualify good to get points. And we were qualified 12th last night, so it put us 6th in the second heat and got up to 3rd. So, we ran off the front row of the feature last night, led all the laps with the last 2, and, Larson got us there at the end. Just critiquing the race, thinking about it all. You only get a few decisions to make there, and zigzag and miss a lap car and don't check up, and the whole race changes differently. It wouldn't have really changed my position for Saturday night. So, like I said, the big picture is Saturday, and we have a chance at winning it. We just got to make sure we're in position still.
So you and Ricky really are clicking. Like, you guys have really found something that it probably takes most drivers and crew chiefs many, many years to find that gel, that chemistry. What has it been with you and Ricky that's worked so well?
Just great chemistry. Ricky understanding my ability of driving, adapting to things differently. He worked with Donnie Schatz for so many years, such 2 different driving styles there, and Ricky to come in, bring that positive energy in our team. I think that's a big thing, and trust in my ability out on the racetrack. And he's always an uplifting person, which is quite interesting to be around that consistently, no matter the outcome of our night. So I think that brings a lot to our team, and it's a lot of fun racing with someone so experienced. Very fortunate to race with someone the knowledge of Ricky Warner and the experience that he brings to a team can get him up to speed very quickly.
I was going over your stats, and you realize in almost 50% of your races this year, you finished in the top 5. I think that's a testament to the crew and being prepared. You prepare every day in the gym, too, and we were chatting about that prior to we went on the show, and I think that's the biggest difference I've seen in you from when you first started to now. You are mentally and physically prepared to go race.
Yeah, and I think that, I have to find little ways to separate myself from other drivers and teams. And, having a team of my caliber, I think it's important for me to show my dedication and effort, just not on the ownership side or the driving side, but more on the mental side of the sport. This sport can be very grueling. There are a lot of ups and downs in results. One night you win, the next night you show up and you miss the feature. It can happen like that. So just with how competitive the industry of sprint car racing is the times in qualifying are 10th from 1st to 20th place, and I don't even think you can stop that on a stopwatch. So it's our sport is very competitive right now. There's a lot of good drivers out there, and you just got to kind of find little ways to separate yourself from them and get better each race, and understand mechanically how your car can get better, and get consistent with putting together good races, and just running with that and going on runs of good runs. And earlier this year we had a lot of inconsistent runs, so there's a lot of frustrations internally in my team, and trying to dissect different things apart of the car or the driver. Is it the tires, the air pressure, and what wheel offsets? And we're just picking apart these crazy things that we never questioned last year with how consistent we were everywhere we went. So, we went to the chassis dyno, got our engines to run a little bit better, and I think that's really what it took just to inch our way back into this thing. And, the last 2 races here at Knoxville, we've been in position. We came to 2 local shows this month, or the month of July, and really worked on just our overall package here, and because we knew that how much Saturday night means to our team.
How big of an adjustment was it for you to learn how to race Knoxville compared to other tracks, especially from your homes, bull rings? But Knoxville is a unique beast, and they always say if you can't learn to run the bottom at Knoxville, you aren't going to win, and you've done both, top and bottom. Yeah,
and that's the truth. Knoxville is the most technical racetrack we go to as race car drivers. It takes discipline, patience, footwork, timing of angles, like when you turn to get into the corner, if you're going to run the top or the bottom. It's not just an average track where you just sling it in there and you run around there with the throttle wide open. It takes, with how difficult it is to hit the bottom, how demanding the track surface can be. The track changes throughout races, throughout features, and from qualifying, and then the inversion is something we're not used to in these heat races. We don't do that every weekend. So it's such a totally different driving style when you get into these heat races. You have to be aggressive the second the green flag drops, and then to get up there into the top 4 if it's an 8-car inversion. And I think that's it puts you in an uncomfortable position out there, just mentally, on understanding how to get to the front. And like I said, it was important for my team to come here in July. We had the flexibility in our schedule, so we came twice. We came to both World of Outlaw events. I think the one in the spring got rained out, but the one in the fall or June was a huge beneficial matter for us to be able to get here and just get as many laps as we can.
Being from Ohio, you tried the truck thing with Thor Sport. Do you think that you would want to go back to that, or sprint car is going to be it for you? I mean,
not at all.
With the success you've had.
Sprint cars, definitely got the place in my heart right now. So, and I see me being here for the next decade, a part of this sport for sure. And
I like to hear that.
It's really a place of comfort for me. And there's a massive amount of growth right now in our industry of sprint car racing. Just seeing the fans develop at these races, at these crown jewel events. I heard last night was record crowd for a Thursday night, and I'm sure tonight's going to be a record crowd for Friday night. So I already heard they're cutting off pit passes for Saturday. So wow. I haven't heard that ever in the history of Knoxville Raceway, probably.
So it's clear you've got the driving piece figured out, and watching from the outside, the business side, you've also got figured out. How has social media changed the way you run your team?
It's very impactful. It's a tool for our team. So I think it's important for me to create that boundary or that comfort zone for a fan to be approachable to me, and a way for fans to invest in what I have going on internally in Rico Abreu Racing, just the Rico brand. I think it's a great barrier for anybody that's insecure of approaching me, where I can communicate with people and not have to meet them for dinner or see them at the races. We don't get to everybody's hometown to race, right. And people don't always have the opportunity to come watch us race. So social media has become a great platform for people to get to know me and get to see what we have going on, and can be on the other side of the country. And, we're very informative of presenting them something proper.
I think it's pretty cool how, you share a lot of your life on social media, whether it's at the gym or whatever it is. And have you noticed that fans react differently to you now?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's cool for that fans pick up on things that I post and bring that to the racetrack, and just with, bits and pieces of my personality and integrating that into social media, and it just has taken me time to be more comfortable with that. And you know, to me, it's all about the fans and the experience they have at the races, the experience they have when they see me in public. You know, because I feel like that's something you never forget.
I got to tell you, Tony, you're a little bit of a gearhead.
Yep.
So am I. The little piece you did on what you have to do to your cars.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. That was absolutely riveting to watch.
Yeah, very informative. I thought that, you know, I have a great support system helping me build up, you know, and helping elevate the sport, not just my brand, but the sport of sprint car racing, and people that envision the same thing I do. And I think it takes you know, a good group, a good core around me to help me be successful in those areas. And one thing that's very intriguing and appealing is, you know, obviously my stature and my physical ability to drive a race car. And it can be inspiring to a lot of people, and that's something that I've been very protective about to myself. And you know, it's cool to educate people on physically how I sit in the car, how I use the gas and brake pedal, how I steer the steering wheel, just all the little inch things, nicket things that you know, that allow me to do something that I love.
How's Gus?
Gus is awesome. He's here at the Nationals, so we're thankful for this cooler weather. Gus has a big fur coat on him right now, and he's very enjoying to the fans. Gus has been something great for me, you know, especially the emotions that racing brings. On the bad nights, he's always happy to see me, so I feel like he breaks that barrier. And also for fans, you know, unsure of being approachable to the merchandise trailer, if I'm there, if they uncertain to buy something, Gus is you know, a very approachable dog, which we got really, really lucky with. And he loves seeing new people. He loves getting petted, and that's something that people like to just come show up to the trailer just to see him.
We have about a minute left. What's it going to take Saturday night? What do you got to do?
It's going to take discipline, you know, get through the first stage, the first 25 laps, really dissect my car, give Ricky Warner the best information that I can to be in position for the second half of the race. You know, the Knoxville Nationals is always won in the last 10 laps, and just need to make sure we're in that position. So if we can scoot on up there, get a couple spots in the first stage, you know, the first 10, the second 10 of the first half, and then hopefully, you know, obviously we know who the car is to be. The 69K and the 57 are by far the class of the field here, and you know, I feel like if we can just get up there and you know, disrupt their momentum, I think it could be anyone's race.
I'd say you got the right crew chief, especially for the break. And you've got a lot of speed, and I think you can easily win this race on Saturday night. So
Thank
good luck.
you guys. Yeah.
Good luck. Rico Abreu, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great show tonight. Tyler Courtney will be our next guest when we come back from the break. Brent Marks and Carson McCarl. Stay tuned. When we come back, Tyler Courtney will be with us.
This is my 2017 Ford Edge with 123,000 miles. Recently, it became sluggish with a slight drop in gas mileage. It was recommended I add seafoam motor treatment in the gas every few weeks. After a few months, there was a noticeable improvement in the power, and it's more responsive when I give it gas. Happy customer here.
To find out more about Seafoam products and how they can help your engine run better and last longer, go to seafoamworks.com.
Everybody's hooking up, getting down, tearing up their little town, loading up the cooler and heading south beach bound, working on their tan, koozie on a beer can, party every night, going up their hands. Ain't no crying in your beer, ain't no she walked out the door, ain't nobody broken hearted in country music anymore.
Hey Tony, now that you're driving in straight lines, you should try one of these. It will help you turn left again.
Well, Donnie, you should try one of these. Just like the lights, when it turns green, mash the gas. You might win another championship. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple.
Winning quality in every bite.
You wanted the best, you got 'em for a breast. Often imitated, located, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws!
Race fans, the World of Outlaws are powering into the Stockton Dirt Track for one night only. Friday, September 6th, see the greatest show on dirt superstars battle California's heroes. High speeds, huge horsepower, and wheel-to-wheel action. Tickets at worldofoutlaws.com or 844-DIRT-TICKS. Buy in advance and save. The World of Outlaws, Friday, September 6th, the Stockton Dirt Track. Be there.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of Knox.
Welcome back to the Sage Fruit Knoxville Nationals pre-race show. We got a great crowd here today. All the fans that are joining us, we're thankful to have you guys here. Another really nice day weather-wise here in Knoxville. Tyler Courtney joins Brian and I here on the Sage Fruit stage. Tyler, the tough part of your week, is it over or is that still yet to come?
I mean, I think the most stressful part of the week is your prelim night, but Saturday night is the hardest race in the world to win for a reason. And so, yeah, I mean, you still got a big, tall task to accomplish on Saturday, but getting yourself in a position to have a chance on Saturday was the first task, and we accomplished that last night, and we put ourselves in a really good spot for tomorrow, and just really excited for it.
As before we came on live here, we were talking about pressure. And it struck me that, one of the things that probably is a huge benefit to you is your team wants to win every time. But I don't see Tim Clausen standing on top of you, really putting the heat on you every race night. He lets you run your own race.
Yeah, no, we have a great group of owners with Tim, Di, Richard, and Jennifer, and a great sponsor with Lauren Albano with Knox Energy Drink. And, they put a lot of trust in me and my guys, Jake, Bobby, and Ron. And, they just let us do our thing, and obviously they trust us to go out and get the job done, and some nights it happens and some nights it doesn't, but it's an awesome feeling going to the track and knowing that you don't have someone breathing down your neck and really forcing the issue on making sure you win that night. They understand you're going to lose a lot more than you're ever going to win, but we try to win every race. Just unfortunately it's not quite as easy as everybody thinks. It's racing, especially right now, sprint car racing is probably the toughest and most competitive I feel like it's been in a very long time, and it's exciting to be a part of.
I feel like the level of competition, even starting last week at the 360s, is really high. Then you look at the Cappy, 82 cars, 82 really good cars, and then you come into your qualifying night, and there's not been an easy night yet.
No, I mean, we scratched from the C main on the Cappy on Sunday, so, and then we come out and we're third highest in points, and so it's just how quickly and how competitive sprint car racing is right now. You can be dead last in a race less than a week ago, and come out and you're starting third in the Knoxville Nationals. So it's just things change every night, and you just got to be ready for them. And I feel like I've got one of the best group of guys behind me to go and do that.
You've been consistent this year. I think I looked up like nearly 60% of the races you've run, you finished in the top 5. You got to put yourself in that. You've done that here, starting third on Saturday. Your guys make sure you don't get DNFs, and that's huge.
Yeah, they work really hard to make sure we don't have any DNFs. I think we've had one this year, wow. And it was just kind of a part failure, so it wasn't really anything in our control. It was just something that happened, and we try to spend the least amount of time in the work area as possible, and a lot of attention to detail on the race car itself, before the races and after the races and everything that goes into it. My guys do a really good job at that, and we've been able to put ourselves in position, a lot of nights this year to be consistent and be in the top 5 and top 10, and especially racing for a championship this year against Brad Sweet, you have to do that. He's a 5-time World of Outlaw champion for a reason, and if you're not running in the top 5, he probably is, and if you're not running the top 10, I know he's running in the top 10. So it's to be consistent is very tough in sprint car racing, just because it's there's a lot of unknowns that happen, and just some nights you're out and you're slow, and those nights you're out and you're slow, you have to make the most of them and get everything you can out of your car, and sometimes it's a lot harder than I'd like it to be.
I think it's amazing. Your team hasn't been around that long, and what you guys have been able to accomplish with that car in the last 5 years has just been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's I think this is our fourth full year with the wing car, and then we had the USAC stuff before that. But even then, we really started full time in 2017. So all around as a team, we've only been around for 7 years, 8 years.
It's amazing.
So,
All-star championships, and now vying for the high limit championship.
Yeah, and we were very fortunate that first year we had the wing car to win the Kings Royal, and we sat on the front row here a couple years ago and led 25, 26 laps, and ended up fourth ultimately, and then won 360 Nationals last weekend, and we put ourselves in position again here to go for a Knoxville Nationals title.
That's very impressive in 7 years.
It is pretty impressive. We were talking with Rico about fan interaction and social media, and one of the things I think that is cool for the Team Knox drivers are all these extracurricular events that you guys do, whether it's in a Formula car or a school bus. Talk to us about that a little bit, what that's been like for you, and if you've had a favorite event.
Yeah, Lauren and her team, they come up with a lot of interesting ideas for us Knox athletes, drivers to go and do. It's usually around March or so when we're all somewhat less busy, I guess. We're always all busy, but this year you guys have seen some of the teaser videos and the episodes with the Formula cars, and last year we were all racing little Volkswagen Bugs, and the year before that we raced a Bug versus a limo versus a school bus. Just a lot of fun things that we get to do, and the Formula cars this year were a lot of fun. I think it was something that was a real race car for all of us to go do, and a race car that none of us had really ever driven. So the competitive side definitely came out, but also
who was the most competitive?
It gets pretty intense. Like we're all pretty competitive when it comes to it, but I'd say Ricky's probably one of the he gets serious about it, and as he should. It's all for fun, but when you're on a certain you want your team to win when you're out there. So it's just it's awesome to be a part of Team Knox, and those are just a few of the things that we get to do, and grateful to be a part of that company and get to represent them night in and night out.
Tell us about the car, the scheme of the car this week.
Yeah, so it's not something totally different. And Jake, my crew chief, his grandfather owns a plating company in California, and his grandfather got him into sprint car racing. They ran Paris, Ascot, all those racetracks back then, and so Jake, he wanted to do some chrome stuff and send it to his grandpa and get it all plated, and so all the parts and pieces that bolts on are all chrome plated, and then we put chrome headers, and we got chrome wheels for this week, and just something to just change it up a little bit and make it super shiny and looking nice. This is our biggest race of the year, and you try to bring your nicest and coolest stuff to this race, and get to show it off.
It sounds like the old California cars used to come out here in the 70s
chrome
and 80s.
Wheels.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So it was pretty cool for Jake to get to do that and send all the pieces to his grandpa. And then it's funny, we went to dinner for his birthday a few weeks ago, and his wife was like, he couldn't even wait to get that stuff back to the shop. He got it to the house and opened it up like it was Christmas. And so it was really cool just to kind of see how excited he was for all that kind of stuff. And just, for the outside looking in, people might be like, it doesn't even look that much different. For personal reasons, our car has a lot more meaning than what it looks like on the outside.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
So starting third, Rico kind of gave us what he wanted to do in the first half of the race and the second half of the race. Have you thought about where you want to be?
Up front? I think, Kyle's going to set a torrid pace. He does in every car that he drives. And, I think you're just going to have to keep pace with the 57 and hopefully try and force him into a very rare mistake. But, I'm just excited to have the opportunity to be up front and be competitive. I think, I got to run up front a couple years ago and kind of learn how the race goes. And now I feel like I've got a couple more years experience under my belt now, and to be back up front, to try and hopefully showcase the things I've learned over the last couple of years. I got to watch every lap of every race here last year because I was sitting here with a broken back, so I got to watch a lot of races and understand what guys are doing and things like that. And so excited, but yeah, Kyle's going to make it tough, and Rico's going to be a guy coming from back there too, and then you're probably going to have Donnie lock in tonight. You're going to have Gravel coming from the back. It's just the Knoxville Nationals is the hardest race in the world to win for a reason, and you don't want to give it to you, and it's not going to get given to you with the 57 on the pole. So just excited, and yeah, just going to just try to keep pace with him and see what we can do in the later stages of the race.
Talking to drivers, Knoxville is a very technical track. How did you adapt to it? What did it take for you to adapt to it?
I asked Brian Walker earlier how many nationals I'd run. This is my 7th one, which people might not even realize because I was a non-wing guy for a while and really didn't come into the wing scene until a couple years ago. But like my first Knoxville Nationals was 10 years ago with Danny Smith, and my wing board blew off, and I just split the car in half over here in hot laps. And then I came back, in 15 and 16. 15 I ran for Bernie and the Indy Race Parts car, and just did a bunch of one-off deals up until I got with Clausen Marshall and we started coming here. So I got a lot of laps throughout those years here. Were they good laps? Probably not, but they were laps, needless to say. And all those years just coming here and watching and learning, and then getting yourself with a team that I have now helps your transition into being good at a place like this go a lot smoother.
Did anybody give you any advice?
I've tried to soak up as much advice as I can when you're talking to the guys that run here all the time, and but yeah, Larson helped me out a lot the first couple years that I ran here.
He's not going to do that anymore.
No,
he's not
probably not
this weekend.
But yeah, he was always a guy that I'd kind of bounce off of. But it's still kind of hard to understand what he does because he does some stuff here that most people can't, and so. It's you try to go replicate it, and you're like, well, I don't know how he did that. But
you're saying he's not human?
No, not a lot of the times. But I think he's beatable, and we're going to try our damnedest to beat him on Saturday.
That'd be a huge win. It really would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Tyler, we're going to let you go. We know you want to get down there and start watching and observing and things like that. But you have an opportunity this weekend to be in a very rare group of folks that have won the Kings Royal and potentially winning the Knoxville Nationals. So lots of luck to you, and we're looking forward to watching you tomorrow night.
That's the first time somebody's brought that up. Everyone keeps bringing up to me that nobody's won the 360 and Knoxville Nationals together. So yeah, it'd be awesome to just add my name to the history of winning the 410 Nationals, not even combine it with the guys that have won those other events too. This race means the world to not only myself but everyone sitting here as well.
Tyler Courtney, ladies and gentlemen, he'll go for a championship tomorrow night. You sign one of those and give it a toss. Okay. Brent Marks will be our next guest when we come back from the break. I want to say a special thanks to Chuck Sink from Sage Fruit, and Casey's here somewhere too, I believe. But I would say, Chuck, you should probably run with a little bit better crowd. Brad Doty sitting next to you could get you in a little trouble.
There you go.
Stay tuned. When we come back to the Sage Fruit stage, Brent Marks will join us.
How'd I do?
Great if you're not looking at the clock.
Sure you got that? I had to be faster than that, right? 100% NOS, zero sugar coating. New NOS, zero sugar. Get after it.
Tony, do you even remember how to drive one of these?
It's not something you forget. You should know that. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion, and we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple.
Winning quality in every bite.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Who's it gonna be? Aventisian steals it here tonight.
This copyrighted Dirt Vision broadcast may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or distributed in any form without World Racing Group's written consent. Copyright infringement is a federal crime.
And welcome back to the Sage Fruit Knoxville Nationals pre-race show. Brent Marks joins us now on the Sage Fruit stage. Brent, thanks for joining us here. The tough part of the week's out of the way now, right? It's all easy from here.
Yeah, it's well, first of all, it's great to be on stage here with you guys, and great to see all the fans out here. It's been a beautiful week, and we just got done talking about how nice the weather is this week. So, we had a good qualifying night. Got ourselves locked in the A main, starting 12th. So that's always great. It's a very frustrating and stressful night to get through your prelim night and try to gather enough points to get yourself in the A main, and then also try to start up as far front as you can. It's just really, really difficult. So we're fortunate that we've had a pretty easy week so far this week.
We were talking with Tyler about the fact that it feels like even since the 360s, the level of competition is really high this week. Like, it's a really tough field.
Yeah, I mean, it's sprint car racing in general. It's just really, really hard right now. And, it's just so difficult. And, these guys are really good, got good mechanics, good drivers. And to pass these guys, it's just really difficult. So you have to have a lot of things go your way. Number one, you have to have a really good race car underneath you, and you just kind of have to try to be a little bit more aggressive than them other guys, and just things just have to play out just right. So we are fortunate to be in that position this year. Last year we just always kept being one spot short, and this year just things played out for us. So that's just how it goes sometimes.
Brent, compared to the last 2 years, how's this year been for you?
It's been okay. I mean, we've been pretty solid. We just haven't been winning a bunch of races and making headlines or anything like that. But we've been pretty good. We've been the last couple years, I feel like we've been a top 3 car more than not. And this year I feel like we're more of a 6th, 7th place car. So we've fallen off just a little bit, but
or the competition's picked up.
Well, it may have been a little bit of both, I think. But yeah, the competition is just really good, and we're just off just the tiniest little bit, and we're working on it, working on our program, and trying to build some more speed in our race car and get me a little bit more confident behind the wheel again. So I think we're on the right track, and we've had some really good races this year, and have been in contention in a lot of races, but just haven't been able to win the amount that we want.
I've heard a lot of race car drivers say that the new Hoosier tire this year, it took them a little bit to get used to it. Has that been your case too?
Yeah, I mean, whenever the tire came out, I thought it was going to benefit us more and fit more into our program, and I was totally wrong on that. It was total opposite, and we've been struggling with it. So, I like a certain feel in my car, and this tire has taken that all out of the equation, and it just made it really difficult for us to get the feel that I need in a race car. And whenever we do try to accomplish the find that feel, we're just way off, and we're not fast at all. So just one of those deals, it's I don't think I'm going to have that feeling again, and unless they change the tire, and we just kind of have to just change our program and go back to what we know has been a little bit faster for us. And we were really good at the beginning part of the year, and always just kind of in the hunt, but we weren't necessarily winning races. And I think we got to get back to just being in the hunt all the time and just letting these races play out in our favor.
Making the A main, locking in through your qualifying night, that's got to take some of that pressure, though, some of that frustration out of what your season has been. Saying, you know what, we're in the granddaddy of them all. We're locked in. So now let's go do this thing.
Yeah, no, I'm really thrilled with that. I mean, anytime you can lock into Knoxville Nationals is an awesome feeling, but it's a little bit extra special this year because the 3 times that we've been here prior to this week, we were just not good at all and struggled really bad. And I just had a feeling it was going to be a long week for us, just trying to dig ourselves out of holes and, not really being in contention like we wanted to be. But we really turned this deal around on our prelim night and had good speed all night long. Not the type of speed we still need, but really good speed. And I felt a lot more comfortable behind the wheel, and we're able to build off of that now. So I was just really happy with the way our week's going so far. We weren't good here in June when the Outlaws were in town, and Sunday at the Cappy we were absolutely terrible. So we really turned it around.
That's encouraging. How do you turn it around like that? Do you go back and just change everything on the car, or what do you do?
You just can't get discouraged. You just you take the struggles and you take the frustration and you make it productive. So. Some guys just aren't able to do that, and I've just tried to instill in my team. It's like with our frustration, our struggles, we have to be productive with it and turn around and just dig through it and dig ourselves out of it and figure out what's wrong and what needs to change to get us faster. And we just can't keep beating a dead horse, and that's kind of like what we've been doing the last month or so. And
short memory.
Short memory. So we just we have to forget about what we've done in the past and just kind of move on with the future here and work on our program and different direction that we need to go. And we've done that, and I've just, we've had more speed. So still not necessarily 100% comfortable behind the wheel, but we're still working on that. And, the changes that we're going to make for tomorrow night, I think, are going to be really good. And we'll just see if we can pass some race cars in the future.
Awesome. How do you approach tomorrow night? Do you approach it as 2 races, or what's your strategy look like? Without giving all the secrets away. Yeah. Unless you want to.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's hard to approach it as 2 races. I think if you start up front more, you can run the first half, be more conservative, and just kind of have a good solid pace and kind of regroup there for the second half. But we're starting outside the top 10, and it's a little bit more difficult. We have to get moving. The first part of the race, that first half, we got to make up some ground and get ourselves in a good position for the last half. And it's 25 laps go by really fast here. Yeah. So you just can't be that conservative there toward when you're more mid-pack like that. So we have to work our way up through there, try to get ourselves inside the top 10, maybe 6th, 7th place, hoping that we can get up there before the half and work on our car during the break and try to get it better for the second half if we need to, and see if we can pass any more race cars. But we just seem to be scrubbing a little bit too much speed right now, and we don't have quite the pace that some of these other guys do. So if we can fix that, I think we'll be in good shape and contend for a top 5, maybe even a podium. But there's no doubt in my mind that this team can't turn it around for us. And I feel like I have the confidence and the will to be able to drive my way up through there and contend for this win. So we've been in this position before, not only here at Knoxville, but other Crown Jewel events, and I know we can get it done. So yeah, we just have to build off what we've learned there on Wednesday and try to get better.
What do you do tonight? Do you just enjoy the races, or are you down there watching what other guys are doing, or what's that look like for you?
Yeah,
everybody's got a different philosophy on that.
We're just gonna enjoy the races. It's been a busy day for me, and yesterday we just after closed the t-shirt trailer up, just got the stuff done on the car. We just took it easy last night there. So, but today we're gonna be here. We're gonna just watch the races and enjoy it, and be a race fan tonight.
That's good.
How much pressure do you think these guys are going through tonight, here on Friday night with 70 plus 80 cars, something like that?
It's a lot. I've been in that position. I was in that position last year, so it's a lot of pressure, and it's I finished 5th in this race last year, 1 spot out of locking it in, and finished 5th in the B main last year, 1 spot out of locking it in. So it's a stressful time, and Friday, you don't want to race on Friday, but it's still a great event, and I love what they do. They give these guys another opportunity to rebound if you do have a bad night, and instead of if you have a bad night, your whole week's ruined. At least you have another chance to make it in the race or position yourself a lot better on Saturday. So I like how they changed that here. I know they've been doing it for years now, but I just know when I first started coming to Knoxville here, it was really tough. And if you had a bad prelim night, you were pretty much done for the entire week. So, but it's pretty cool what Knoxville Raceway does, and we love coming into nationals and love seeing all the people, and it's just great. It's a great event.
What would you now tell younger you if you could go back in time?
Well, I don't know. I guess I've just grown over the years, and I don't let things bother me as much as they used to, and I don't dwell over as much as I used to. If we have a bad night, we move on and we work at improving it. And when I was younger, I used to just dwell on it and wonder why we were so bad and get so frustrated, and ended up essentially just beating myself. And I just try not to beat myself anymore. So I am my own worst critic, but nobody's harder on me than myself. But at the same time, I've grown in that aspect of it, and I think that's what's made me a lot more successful as a driver, as a team owner, a partner, a leader with our team. I've just grown a lot, and not dwell on things. And this whole sport is so mental, and if you beat yourself down and bring your team down with you, you're just not going to be successful. So I try to do the best that I can. And, there's times that, I'm not the best at it and I need a reminder, but, we're just all human, and this sport's just so hard. We race a lot. There's a lot more, struggles than there are successes in this sport. So we just try to work through all that.
That's called maturity. That's
yeah.
That growing up thing.
Yeah, that growing up thing. Yeah.
Well, we wish you lots of luck this weekend. We're happy that you're locked in, and that you can kind of relax a little bit, enjoy the Nationals a little bit tonight, and then focus on winning your first Knoxville Nationals tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate everybody being out and having me on the show.
Brent Marks, ladies and gentlemen, he'll go tomorrow night to try to win his first Knoxville Nationals. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back to the Sage Fruit, Carson McCarl will join us here on the stage.
Okay, now that's going places.
I want to go places too.
I want you to have more opportunities than I had.
So I would live in Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, and you'll live with other students from all over the country. I'll see you soon. You're going to be great.
Find your future at Milton Hershey School.
You make me wanna
Hey Tony, now that you're driving in straight lines, you should try one of these. It will help you turn left again.
Well, Donnie, you should try one of these. Just like the lights, when it turns green, mash the gas. You might win another championship. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples,
But nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple.
winning quality in every bite.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has won the Daytona 500.
You spend thousands of hours on the road.
Can he do it again?
Feel hundreds of horses under the hood. But every race, lap, and victory you get starts at zero. New NOS zero sugar. Zero sugar, 100% NOS, get after it.
I think it's a very big deal that we have Amcus, providing us with the Amcus cutting tools throughout our series and World Racing Group. It's good that we were able to get a product in that's reliable and it does the job. If for some reason we had to cut a car apart or get access to a driver or a patient, we know that this tool here is definitely the one that we're going to work the best, get us in there quickly.
Welcome back to the Sage Fruit Knoxville Nationals pre-race show here on Friday night, Hard Knocks night at the Knox Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Carson McCarl joins us now. Carson, welcome to the show. Thanks for taking some time for us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I wish I had a little more free day today. I wish I didn't have anything to do after this, but unfortunately we got a race tonight.
Well, you don't want it to be too easy.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But I like my job. I like doing what I do, so get an extra day to do it. I'm being positive. I'm half full about it.
So when you saw the points last night, let's talk about that a little bit, because you come into this thing with full intentions of locking in, and you weren't too short. You were just a few spots short of locking in. What was that like for you?
Honestly, it made it a little worse. I wish I would have been like 70th or something, because going into the night, I really didn't think I even had a shot to make the top 26, and then at the end, we were 32nd, and it's like, man, if I had just done a little better in my heat race, and we ended up losing the brakes in the feature, and a couple guys got by me because of it, and if we were just clean that up, I'd probably be chilling right now having one of those margaritas over there or something. But unfortunately, we got to get after it tonight. But, we got a really fast race car. We've been fast all year long, so we just got to make the right decisions tonight and hopefully, be talking on the front stretch later.
You've had a good year. You got your first 410 win here. Talk about that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I've been coming here for a long time, and, we've been doing the 410 deal here for about 3 years now. And, I guess I'm a bit of a late bloomer. I didn't even race a 410 for the first time until I was 21, and it was just one time, and then, didn't get full time until I was about 26. So, a little bit late to the game, but we were finally able to get a win and drive around Austin to do it. So that was pretty fun. He didn't talk to me for about 2 hours afterwards, but we're all good now, and that was a lot of fun, and hopefully we can replicate that tonight.
As a McCarl, is there a secret rite of passage that once you win your first 410 race at Knoxville, life changes, or what's that like?
I
think it's pretty cool when you think about your family and your history here.
Yeah, my grandpa's, got a couple wins here. My dad's obviously got a ton, and, Austin's racking them up too. So to get my name on that list was really special to me. That was the first thing I did on Sunday, went to the Knoxville website and scrolled down to the bottom and finally saw my name on that list. So, no, that was super cool, super special night. And, we just, like I said, we've been really fast, and we've put ourselves in position to win other races and just haven't quite got the job done. But I feel more confident every time I get in the race car, and after that win, my confidence really went up. So I just hopefully you can translate that.
I got to tell you, your brother told me one time on a radio show I used to do that you were a better race car driver than him. He told me that.
Well, he must have had a couple cocktails before or something. So, I don't know about that. But, Austin's, a really great race car driver, and I'm just trying to, prove myself that, I'm just as good as him and my dad, and, hopefully can rack up the stats like they have.
How tough has it been building your own team? You and Peyton putting a team together, and nothing's getting cheaper, right? Yeah. And sponsors are not getting easier to get. So what's that been like for you, being a car owner and a driver?
Yeah, starting your own team, I've probably never been a good time in history to own a race team, but we started ours, basically right at COVID when everything went through the roof. So that was pretty terrible timing. But yeah, it's tough. It takes a lot of people. It's a lot of work, and it's a ton of money. We don't have a huge schedule. By the end of the year, I think we'll be at about 40 races, which is we don't have any full-time crew or anything like that, just a couple buddies that come and help me out on Saturday nights. So it's super tough, and it gets tougher every day, but just for whatever reason, I just always feel better in my own stuff. I don't really know why. When I jump into other people's cars, I just never quite feel the same or quite as confident. So I'm just going to stick with what I know. And, Peyton's been a huge help. It was basically just me and her last year up in Sioux Falls. We didn't have any crew or anything like that. And I always tell her, she's way too pretty to be mountain tires. She needs to, I think she has more fun up here, slinging shirts and stuff like that. But she's a trooper. She helps out a ton. And it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
For the average fan, we talk about how expensive sprint car racing is. Throw a ballpark figure out there just to build a car, ground up motor.
Yeah, a car, ground up motor is about $100,000, and I'd say it costs about, for me to come to Knoxville, and I only live 30 minutes from here. It costs about $2,500 just to drop the back door just for one night. So, yeah, it gets more expensive every single day. And motors. When I first started owning our team in 2019, there was basically about $55,000 for a motor, and now they're pushing almost $80,000. So, and tires were $225 back then, and now they're nearly $400. So, probably not the best financial move in the world. Could probably make more money doing something else. But I get to do what I love every single day, and I don't take that for granted. And it is what it is. Money comes and goes, but you got to do what you want.
In order to do that yourself, you got to make a lot of relationships that are important for building your own team. What's the one relationship you've made with some business or marketing partner that's really benefited for you?
Oh, definitely got to be, John Whitaker with Jetco. He came on board the first year of owning my team, and he's believed in me since day one. We've had a couple of years where, didn't really give my guys too much to brag about, and but he never lost faith in me, and continues to believe in me 100% to this day, and really helps us out to get us a car capable of hanging with these guys. I always say, you can only put one motor in one car on the track at a time. So, yeah, we might not have 6 motors and 6 rollers or anything like that, but the one we bring to the racetrack is top notch and really nice. And, John with Jetco and his whole family, Nikki and their whole family have been, really turned into family of ours. They've been behind me, so much these last 6-8 years, and giving us what we need. And everybody on my car: Blondie Motorsports, Prosper Real Estate, DeBerg Concrete, City Vending, Randy Burnett with Burnett's Rock and Landscaping down in Florida. It's been a huge help. And honestly, Dirt Vision, I think, is a huge part of that. I got sponsors from California to Florida to Pennsylvania, everywhere. And back in the day, those guys wouldn't be able to watch me race, but maybe once a year. But now they can, they can watch me anytime, all day. So that helps a ton to build relationships. And hopefully we can just keep building on that. And if there's anyone out in the crowd that wants to get their name on a car, we definitely we got room. And we want to. I feel like our team, we're getting better every year, and we're building it up every year. And hopefully, I really love coming to Knoxville, but would also love to get on the road one of these days and kind of get away from here for a little bit. So hopefully we can do that.
That said, owning your own team, what Knoxville has done with their weekly person, we all know that the Nationals is the huge payday. That helps too. I mean, when you say it costs $2,500 drop trailer door, you can make that here.
Yeah, absolutely. Knoxville's weekly payout is incredible. I mean, $6,000 to win, $1,000 for 12th. I mean, you really don't get that at any other local show. And the point front's pretty good, and that's why it's hard to get away from here. Obviously it's our home track. It's my one of my favorite tracks, and it's got an excellent payoff. And this is where most of my sponsors are here. So Knoxville, basically if I can run top 5 or better, we're going home in the black. So. No, it's Knoxville and everything they've done and all their partners, and even the Booster Club with the 360 deal has been huge. So yeah, big shout out to them for giving us a payout that can actually pay the bills.
Real quick, your dad, of course, when you're building your own team, your dad's had his own team. How much was his advice? What did that mean for you? I mean, that had to be priceless.
Oh, absolutely. To have him and Austin in my corner, and also, Peyton's dad, Craig Delansky, he owned his own team for a really long time too. So, I've been, they've been, him and Craig have been through it all, so, they know, the ins and outs of this sport, from not just driving, but owning a team too. And, we just try to spend our money as smart as possible. And honestly, that's mainly engines. They don't call us chassis sports, it's motorsports. So that's where we try to put most of our funds and get a good, hitter in between the down tubes. And luckily, we got a really good relationship with Ryder Engines and Moyle Engines for our 360s. And they've been absolutely ripping. I told Brandon from Ryder earlier, these motors have basically changed my life this year. So it's it gets tough, but yeah, having those guys in your corner to help you not make simple mistakes definitely helps.
Your grandpa Leonard, I had the privilege of talking with him a few years back when he was working on Frankie Kerr's car, and they got an argument in the shop, and he pointed at the cockpit and he said, "That it don't mean nothing." And he went up, pointed at the end. She said, "That's everything right there."
Yeah, absolutely. Leonard was quite the character for sure. I think we could have wrote a book with some of his wise words. It definitely. I don't know if it would have been rated PG or anything. I don't think we could quite print it. It'd have to be behind a paywall probably. But no, yeah. Leonard was a hell of a fabricator, and those guys back then would build the cars from the ground up. And now we're so spoiled. You can basically order everything right online. And get it delivered straight to your door.
So, everyone knows Terry McCarl, and it's funny when you look at when your dad was racing weekly at Huset's, the Boo Birds were there, and he's got a huge following, though. But what's it like growing up as Terry McCarl's son?
I mean, it's all I know.
Because you guys are like ultimately like the most competitive family I've ever met.
Absolutely, and that's why I was really hoping to lock into tomorrow's just so I didn't have to race against him tonight. Luckily, I think me and Austin are in separate groups. I'm not sure where my dad drew, but it's a lot of fun, watching them race. But it's just I hear these other brothers talk like, the Matsons and the Macedos, and they talk about how they race each other harder. But, I know how much work Austin puts into his car, and he knows how much work and I put into mine. And I don't want to crash anybody, but I definitely don't want to crash him. Plus, he's a lot bigger than me, so I don't want to mess with him too much. But, yeah, growing up, with my dad, it's just, I guess you just get used to winning, I guess. We'd expect to win. It's just growing up. That's just all I knew. My dad would win, 20 races basically a year, and so up at Huset's, he would pretty much dominate up there, and and I was great down here at Knoxville too. So when I struggled early in my career, I really didn't know how to handle that, just because I kind of expected to be as fast as him right out the gate, and but we're getting there. I feel like we're getting faster and faster every time we hit the track.
Carson Macedo said in his interview when we talked to him that he actually gets nervous watching Cole. Do you get nervous watching Austin and watching your dad?
It's funny. Wade asked me that yesterday, and I don't get nervous watching my dad at all. I just been watching him my whole life. I know he knows what he's doing, and I know how good he is. But yeah, I still get nervous watching Austin. I want him to do good, but I just don't want him to crash. I just never want him to crash. As soon as the checker flag falls and he's still on all four wheels, then I can kind of breathe a little bit. But Austin's a great driver, and he's getting himself up there with, I feel like, the national guys, and really a serious contender for any track he goes to. So, but I get nervous watching Austin, but no, I get frustrated watching my dad.
Just put yourself in your mom's shoes.
Yeah, exactly. I feel bad for her, but she's a trooper. She's the greatest, and I couldn't be more blessed with a good family.
So we're going to have to jump out of here. We're going to run right up against the top of the show here. But good luck tonight. Race yourself into the show, and we look forward to watching you.
Oh, it's going to be a show for sure. I'm going to make some sort of highlight reel. So thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it.
Carson McCarl, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Sage Fruit Knoxville Nationals pre-race show. Tomorrow, Brad Sweet, Donnie Schatz, Tony Stewart, David Gravel, and his brother, Austin McCarl. Thanks for watching. Yes, I didn't throw it out.
It's ARP Fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family-owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
Tony, do you even remember how to drive one of these?
It's not something you forget. You should know that. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple.
Winning quality in every bite. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has won the Daytona 500.
You spend thousands of hours on the road.
Can he do it again?
Feel hundreds of horses under the hood. But every race, lap, and victory you get starts at 0. New NOS, 0 sugar. 0 sugar, 100% NOS, get after it.
Ready to rise? To the challenge? Above obstacles.
Yes!
Above perceptions.
Redinger able to make the pass on the top lane.
Above it all.
Let's go!
If so, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Dirt Vision presents World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. The best drivers, the biggest races.
David Gravel wins $250,000 at Houston Speedway. He is now a 6-time Kings Royal winner.
The best coverage.
My name is Connor Wade. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Dirt Vision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
The granddaddy of them all rolls on in Knoxville, Iowa, as dawn's first light this Friday morning shed even more light on sprint car talented racers from California. Don't worry, Dirt Vision won't keep you in the dark. Day 3 coverage of the 63rd NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals begins from the Dirt Vision studio. And it is a studio that's A, presented by Milton Hershey School, and B, graced once again with the presence of Hannah Newhouse. Happy to have an accomplice. I am Dave Reef. Welcome to arguably one of the most intense and interesting nights of the year in the sprint car capital of the world. More on that in just a moment. But first, Hannah, let's talk about West Coast racers. They are dominating the show right now. As a former West Coaster yourself, you got to be pretty proud of what these left coasters are accomplishing.
Hey, well, West Coast, best coast is what we always say, right? No, but it's been really cool to see, the notoriety that really the West Coast has gotten over the recent years with the talent that's simply come out of it across all forms of open wheel racing, whether it's midget racing that have taken to the Midwest and made a new home in the Midwest, as well as sprint car guys that have, not only taken sprint car racing by storm as of late, but man, really shown up and shown out here at Knoxville Nationals.
Well, it was Fresno's Gio Scelzi that got the Golden State on the board Wednesday night in qualifying. And then last night, headed by the defending Nationals champion, it was a crowded all-California podium.
The grandstand shake with anticipation as the green flag waves at the Knoxville Raceway and the North Pole Nightmare leads into turn 1.
Brady Bacon made it 3 wide right behind them as they race off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Rico Abreu sets his sights on your leader. He'll go to the high side in second. Carson McCarl running third, battle for fourth off of turn 4, but Bill Baylog will lead lap 1.
Meanwhile, Kyle Larson charging toward the 21H of Brady Bacon. They'll go wheel to wheel for the 5th spot. Larson had it as they cross the line. Bacon trying to come back at him on the inside, but the spot belongs to Young Money out of turn 2. Trying to make it work in traffic now as we close in on the halfway point.
That was a big move for Baylog to get through those lap cars as they race into 1. Now Rico gets by Dobmeyer as well. He'll look to the bottom of turn number 2. Your race is going to be for the lead. Down the back straightaway, Baylog to the top. Here comes Rico Abreu. He'll take the lead in turn number 4.
Rico Abreu to the lead momentarily. Baylog back to his inside at the line. Rico Abreu leads it by 71 thousandths of a second. And as they do battle, here comes Carson McCarl looking for second out of turn 2.
Carson McCarl has caught Bill Baylog for the 2 spot as they race into turns 3 and 4. Bill Baylog through the middle, leaves the top side open for Carson McCarl to get by him on the outside. He'll take second off of turn 4 and set his sights on your leader, Rico Abreu.
Carson McCarl around the slower car of Zomer. Now McCarl to the bottom, closing in on Abreu. Battle for the lead out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. They are side by side for the top spot. Abreu says no at the end of the back straightaway, but McCarl was right there with him.
Kyle Larson closing in on the top 2 cars as they battle for the top spot down the front straightaway. Rico continues to be the leader.
They swap lanes. Macedo to the bottom as Kyle Larson goes to the top. Larson trying to make a run for the second spot. And as they cross the line, he will take it. Kyle Larson second. 18 laps in the book, 7 laps to go. This time by there will be 2 laps to go.
2 to go for your leader, Rico Abreu, as they race into 1. Kyle Larson right there looking on. He'll peek to the inside. Lap car slides up right in front of Rico. You've got a new leader down the back straightaway. Kyle Larson takes the lead into turn 3.
Kyle Larson on the bottom to the top, out of the corner. Rico Abreu trying to duck to his inside. White flag waving. Larson leads lap 24.
If Rico Abreu wants it, he's going to have to come and get it. Time is running out as the checkered flag will wave. Kyle Larson to the inside of 3 and 4. Checkers will be in the air. Rico trying to close in one more time. He'll come up a little bit shorter, will he? Yes, he will. Kyle Larson wins Toyota qualifying night number 2.
Another unbelievable performance. 2 days of racing that have produced 26 names locked into Championship Saturdays. We begin with the first 8 rows of the Knoxville Nationals. At 490 points each, Kyle Larson's win is what breaks the tie with Darren Pittman for the pole. A field equally represented with 8 participants from the 2 days of points earnings. It's Thursday night heavy though, as the top 4, 5 of the top 6, and 7 of the top 10 came out of last night's action. With Kyle Larson the only Nationals champion in the first 8 rows, Hannah, that leaves 15 potential first-timers. Oh yeah, 5 of these names come from California.
Well, we'll just continue the California trend as we take a look at your B-main field. The deep field of competitors makes up that B-main and the final opportunity to join the 63rd Knoxville Nationals field. But notably, a past champion and California native currently sits on the pole of that B-main, as Big Cat Brad Sweet will have to be in full defense mode as the rest of the field chases him for that 17th place A-main starting spot. And there's a couple others that are also trying to defy the odds, including that of James McFadden, Corey Eliason, and then there's David Gravel, who needs to only advance 2 spots in Saturday's B-main to have a chance to add another Nationals title to his resume.
And that brings us to Hard Knocks Friday from the Knoxville Raceway, where points are now officially off the table, 27th on back. There's some drivers that were close to making the automatic transfer spot that have to be hating this new format coming up at them. But for everybody further on back, bottom line, let's call it a clean slate, a new day. You get another shot to get yourself into the Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah, and you have to re-rack and completely reshape your mentality, because like you said, there's a couple drivers that are probably kicking themselves for a one-spot short performance, or, you know, not qualifying how they wanted to, and then there's those guys that are like, thank goodness we are starting over. That's exactly what I needed. So, you know, the format is forgiving in some sense on your Wednesday, Thursday, but if it doesn't work in your favor, today's the day that it's your last opportunity to lay it all on the line.
And it is a new format. Let's talk about it as FVP Hard Knocks begins with split field time trials for a potential 80 cars. That's 2 cars, 2 laps at a time, with cars in Group 1 making up the first 3 heat races, Group 2, 4 through 6. 8 laps is the distance for the half dozen heat races coming your way tonight that start with an invert of 4. Only the top 3 transfer to the A-main. Drivers 4 through 9 move into one of 2 last chance showdowns. The remainder go to the C, which is 10 laps, but will transfer the top 12 into the 2 LCS races. Those are 12 laps in length and will only transfer the top 3 from each lined up by heat finish into the 25-lap A-main, which is lined up for the 18 drivers that have already qualified by their time trial effort. There are plenty of notables coming at you tonight. As we mentioned, a field of 80 plus potentially there. We'll have to see if anybody falls out, but it's a stacked field, a big field of cars.
Yeah, social media has already reinforced that, saying this is one of the toughest Hard Knocks nights we've seen in quite some time. And, well, there's 3 McCarls that are going to have to take on Hard Knocks, most notably Carson McCarl, who came oh so close to that cut line with the points. He's got the laps around Knoxville, of course, becoming a staple really on a local level in the 360s and 410s. So he's got that track experience to bring to it. Man, you've got Logan Schuchart as well, and we need to talk about Dason Pursley.
Underperforming just a little bit. We certainly expected a lot out of him. We'll have to see how he handles it tonight. One of the youngsters that's up and coming. We've also got 2 former champions in the field tonight in Tim Schaefer and Craig Kinzer. But are we missing one person?
There's one person that we probably should talk about.
You're probably right. You know, while the odds aren't in Donnie Schott's favor, I will not count him out. You know, it's been almost 30 years since qualifying night at the Nationals went as badly as it did this year for the Fargo, North Dakota native. But back in 1997, there was no way for him to get back into the show. While a heat race win, his 9th at the Nationals, tied for 5th all time, and this epic save after getting clipped by David Gravel are the only highlights so far for the driver of the Nationals themed blue and gold car quest number 15. You can almost count on Donnie making the most of this Hard Knocks opportunity tonight and push his consecutive A-main starting streak to 26 either tonight or tomorrow. And while this isn't 2013, it's worth the reminder that year, his 7th of his 11th Knoxville Nationals win came from the B-main in the 21st starting spot, so it's not impossible. The first step, though, for Donnie into making that happen begins tonight with a chassis change and an interview with Connor Wade.
That car that we were running didn't respond after Sunday or Wednesday, so we elected to take the car we'd been running back out, put all the Go body panels on it, and put the motor in that we originally built for here. So you approach every night the same way, and really it's kind of a blessing. This is a second opportunity. I never really paid attention to the way it went before, because we'd always get ourselves locked in through the prelim night, and unfortunately we didn't do that. So really this is it's like a mulligan. It's basically just like what Sunday was. So we'll just have to make the best of it, and ultimately got to get qualified well, or you're not going to start in the first 4 rows of the features. So and obviously the car we're going to run it's the car we ran when we were here in June. So it felt good. We did things just could never seem to get the other one to respond the way we needed to. So good call by the guys, and a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, and now we'll see if it pays off.
Now, granted, it's certainly an easy reset to talk about Donnie Schatz, but just when you think he's down is usually when he comes to the front. He talked about June at the Knoxville Raceway, 21st to 10th on the opening night, 4th to 2nd on the finale. He's got that race car, he's got the skill, he's got the will. He probably has the way to get in the show.
Yeah, he's definitely got the forward momentum. And, Donnie, and I'm sure that team is very frustrated having to do that much work when a feature time comes around. We sure love being able to sit back and watch Donnie navigate a field like that. So if there's anyone that's going to, step up to this challenge and be able to overcome this task, Donnie's proven time and time again he's able to do it.
Who else are we looking at tonight?
We've got some young drivers that unfortunately have to re-rack. One of them we talked about throughout the week so far, and that's Buddy Kofoid. And man, he's had a lot of eyes on him coming into this place. He's finally found a place for himself in the sprint car realms, and he's really no longer a rookie, but not quite a veteran either. And a place like Knoxville Nationals is daunting to all calibers of drivers. I don't care who you are. With a 16th place qualifying effort in his Wednesday prelim night, that slated Kofoid in a position of defense in his heat race, in which graveled through a last-minute slider here to take that 4th and final transfer spot in his heat and kick Kofoid to Wednesday last chance showdown, where the young Pengrove, California driver rallied to a 5th place finish. It hasn't been the Nationals he's hoped for, but for the weekend is still not over as he tackles Hard Knocks this weekend, and he's here with Connor Wade.
2 years ago, Buddy Kofoid was the Knoxville Nationals Rookie of the Year. Tonight, he's still trying to find his way into the finale on Saturday night. Having to run this Hard Knocks prelim, how do you approach this thing?
I'm not sure. Thankfully the last 2 years I've locked straight in and didn't have to worry about it, but just had some things not go our way, and just probably some things on my part, and then some just bad luck on our prelim, and led us to tonight. But still, I feel like still any laps are valuable here, no matter what the circumstances are. So just pulled a decent pill. Just still got to treat it like any other day, or even as far as like a prelim night, as far as how the format goes for the Nationals. Just got to qualify good, get through your heat race, and put yourself in the best position to start up front to get those 4 spots, and hopefully, obviously, that all comes to fruition, and you can lock straight in and not have to worry about anything tomorrow.
Track will be much different tonight than it was on the Wednesday prelim. Are you confident that you and your race car can adjust with the track?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like we were good last year and kind of struggled a little bit this year, but I feel like the half-mile stuff's been getting better for me, myself, but also for our car this year again. And like I said, felt good, in the B on Wednesday, my prelim, where I could move around and race better than I feel like I've been able to here, at least for this year. And so that gives me confidence, at least, but it's still tough no matter what. You just gotta, like I said, just qualify good and just keep putting our best foot forward, and just try and be critical and smart as far as what we do to the car, what we think we should do, and also with what I do on the track as far as racing here or there, or just being smart in all aspects.
Well, Buddy Kofoid, like everybody in tonight's Hard Knocks prelim, trying to do whatever it takes to get in to the Knoxville Nationals.
Thank you, Connor. There's a couple of things about all of these young drivers, Hannah, that I want to talk about. Number one, a lot of them don't understand how really hard this is and how easy they make it look. It is very difficult for them to do. But, you know, for Buddy, I forgot what the second point was, but let's talk about these young kids and how they can just put that stuff behind them so quickly. That's what it was.
Yeah. I was going to say he was able to re-rack, and he said he'll do anything he can to get himself into the Knoxville Nationals. And, you know, that's part of these young drivers, putting them in these situations. You know, they go tour racing, they get their feet wet, they race with the best of the best each and every night, and they build racecraft. It's oftentimes where we see these young drivers climb behind the wheel of sprint cars and they're fast right off the get-go. They're qualifying well, they may heat race well, but the tacticality that comes with putting together a full race, a full weekend, is something that we see some of these drivers really come into later. So the Knoxville Nationals format and the platform in which it is, it's forgiving in that sense that if you don't put together that first prelim night, it's okay. You get the chance on Friday to really re-rack. But, you know, Buddy is someone that I've really enjoyed watching behind the wheel of a sprint car as of late, because he has really built this racecraft.
He's been put in the pressure tank, so to speak, though, because it's been a roller coaster season as they continue to kind of go through some motor issues. And when you're a driver and you always kind of have that tucked in the back of your head, how do you approach a night of racing?
You can't even think about something like that, right? You have to just you can only control so much as a driver. And that's exactly what Buddy's going to do. He's going to go out there and try and qualify to the best of his ability. And then, you know, you come in, you debrief, you re-rack, and you see what challenge now upholds you in your heat race, especially with this 4 invert where they only take 3. So how do you play that game in qualifying? Do you play a game in qualifying there, you know? And I don't think these teams put that on the driver, right? They want their driver to go out there and just lay down the best possible lap they can. And Buddy's been good. He's had a great outlaw season so far. Again, like you said, it's had its ebbs and flows, but those good finishes have been there, and a breakthrough run here at the Nationals could continue to change that momentum for Buddy and his team.
Buddy does have 1 win, but he's always at or near the front with 11 podiums, 4 runner-ups. So the question is will he be snake bit tonight or will he not? Well, after Wednesday, check out this post that came on X from Sprint Car Hub. Pretty much says it all. A photo that speaks volumes, the words only magnify. Just another race? Nope, not for Buddy Kofoid. While the remainder of this context focuses on the results of that LCS and David Gravel's last lap pass, you could even back that theme up further to his 5th place finish in his heat race when he missed out on the automatic transfer as Gio Sells, the night's eventual winner, went on and grabbed that spot. So the question is how do you turn a snake bit mindset into a positive one?
You don't have any other choice. You go to the Knoxville Nationals like this, you can't get in your own head. You know, everyone else is going through the same thing. They all have the difficulties. You know, Kyle Larson had a phenomenal night last night, but it could have been one bad misfortune mistake away from him being in a bad situation. So you can't have that mindset. You know, Buddy knows. Buddy's been tour racing. He knows that when you get in these situations, you race night after night. The sun set, and then it came back up. And when that sun came back up, it's time for a new day.
Now, if you follow the career of Buddy Kofoid, he can do it in just about anything, and we're, of course, certainly glad he is in a World of Outlaw sprint car. Well, you know what? It is said, though, that success lies in one's abilities to learn from mistakes. When we return to the Dirt Vision studio, we'll find out what a pair of Knoxville regulars, a young up-and-comer, and the surprise, perhaps, leading candidate to be the Knoxville Nationals Rookie of the Year have learned as we roar into Friday night Hard Knocks qualifying.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
This is my 2017 Ford Edge with 123,000 miles. Recently, it became sluggish with a slight drop in gas mileage. It was recommended I add seafoam motor treatment in the gas every few weeks. After a few months, there was a noticeable improvement in the power, and it's more responsive when I give it gas. Happy customer here.
To find out more about Seafoam products and how they can help your engine run better and last longer, go to seafoamworks.com.
Everybody's hooking up, getting down, tearing up their little town, loading up the cooler and heading south beach bound, working on their tan, koozie on a beer can, party every night, going up their hands. Ain't no crying in your beer, ain't no she walked out the door, ain't nobody broken hearted in country music anymore.
Hey Tony, now that you're driving in straight lines, you should try one of these. It will help you turn left again.
Well, Donnie, you should try one of these. Just like the lights, when it turns green, mash the gas. You might win another championship. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple. Winning quality in every bite.
You wanted the best, you got them for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of Knox.
It may not be the night at the Knoxville Raceway, but when the Nationals are in town, even Hard Knocks Friday is a tough feature to win. As Aaron Reitzel held off David Gravel 1 year ago, both racers able to take advantage, though, of the Friday night program to offset miserable qualifying night woes. Back at the Dirt Vision studio, presented by Milton Hershey School. Hannah, it wasn't that long ago that, quite honestly, Friday night at the Nationals almost turned into a yawner. Back in those days, they locked in the top 50 cars, but then they started to spice things up with pole shuffles, and then cutting it to 26 has brought us to Friday night Hard Knocks qualifying. And when there's 4 A-main spots on the line, well, that's what the excitement is all about.
I mean, 4/5 of the field currently is sitting right now waiting to get an opportunity to race in Saturday's big
Where they're going to
dance.
be, we'll find out together.
Yeah, we're all finding out in the same time. I mean, and then for some night, you said it's not the night, but for most of these drivers, this is the night. That might be it for them here with their Knoxville Nationals run. But, when it comes down to it, experience really plays into a factor here at Knoxville Raceway. And any additional track time around Knoxville Nationals is always a one-up on the competition at the toughest sprint car race of the year. And for Aaron Reitzel, we saw it. He's made himself a staple recently here at the Knoxville Raceway, where he currently sits second in 410 points. And he brings ample laps and experience around the half mile as he tries to race his way in tonight to the 63rd Knoxville Nationals. He has made his last 5 attempts at the Nationals, so the odds are in his favor, but arguably his most viral moment coming from his Hard Knocks win last season, where he basked in the boos of his haters.
First off, I love hearing those boos because that means I'm up here making money, mother effers.
You almost have to watch that and giggle because he's done it before. He knows how to do it. He has the experience. He has the momentum on his side to overcome the hurdles that come with a Hard Knocks once again. So there's no doubt that the Texas native is not opposed to putting on a show, but if he doesn't make the show, he's got a pretty solid alternative plan lined up.
You have to be timed in good to start front in the A, and obviously passing's tough this year, so it's really all comes down to that one lap, and then you get transferred in, and basically this is it. You don't get through tonight in the top 4, you're not making nationals. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it's either get locked in, or hell, my mindset, don't even make the A tonight, so then that way we don't even show up tomorrow and I can just sit in the stands and drink margaritas or something. But honestly, if I was one spot better, I was going to race tonight either way, because I don't see starting 10th in the B and making it, honestly, right now. Just that you look at the group of guys you're going to have to pass. It's hard to pass this year for whatever reasons. And I would have backed out. If I was one spot out, I'd have backed out and elected to race tonight as well. I don't know, I've never been a good gambler, so I would have took the risk tonight. It took the risk anyways and gone for the top 4 spots tonight.
A soundbite waiting to happen. And while Reitzel has made the sprint car capital of the world his weekly home, what would really turn the Knoxville Raceway on its ear would be a true homegrown Iowegian talent winning the Knoxville Nationals. Well, now in their 3rd generation, the McCarl family continues to be at the top of the list, the most likely candidates to do it. From the patriarch Leonard to his son Terry to his two sons, it was 2 years ago when Austin McCarl stirred the locals' fire and he started from the pole leading the opening lap. The current Knoxville Raceway points leader this season, there were not enough Nationals points though for the 31-year-old to avoid Friday Night Hard's Knox. But with more than enough skill at the big half-mile, Connor Wade, I'm sure the big unit still believes.
Well, it was a little surprising to see Austin McCarl have to run the Hard Knocks prelim. Austin, obviously you don't want to be in this situation, but do you look at tonight as in you have to finish in the top 4 to even get in the feature at all?
And I don't know, it kind of, I mean, that's obviously the goal, right, is to be top 4, and if you're on 5th, you start 11th in the B, so, which, you know, the B main tomorrow night is 22 laps, which is longer than a normal weekly show race here, and I think you can get to the top 4 if the track's the right way, and I mean, you're going to probably need a couple yellows and a couple things that go your way, but I think it can be done. But yeah, obviously the goals are on top 4. I think we're very capable of doing it. Yeah, last night was not anything that I expected or hoped for, obviously. Just really was terrible in that heat race and didn't get any better in the B. I did not do a great job of mechanicking last night at all. I went back and watched some videos, and if we get something similar to the racetrack last night, I think I know kind of where I need to be. But hopefully we get something a little bit more normal that I see every week. So I don't know, it just kind of depends. About to go draw when I'm done with this interview. That kind of sets the tone for your night right away. So hopefully the sprint car gods are on my side a little bit there, and we can just lay down a lap and get in that invert and get in the show. And really, I think come feature time, no matter how the track is, I think I've got some pretty good speed and kind of knowing how the track will change throughout the night, or especially throughout the race. So I don't know, we'll just see what we can do tonight. Hopefully we get it. Like I said, the racetrack the last couple nights has been pretty weird, if you're asking my opinion. The bottom has been super, super, super wet, and it kind of feels like it never really comes in until feature time, which is not typical to this place. So, but tonight's a whole new night, 30 or 40-ish more race cars tonight, all racing against each other, and we split qualifying up, which is a big change too. So kind of went back and looked through some notes, and hopefully I made the right decisions on where I need to be with my race car, and hopefully some things go my way, and we just got to put ourselves in position. I think if I can start somewhere in the top 10 in the feature tonight, I got a chance. So as long as I do my job and give myself a chance, I think we're capable of doing it.
Knoxville Raceway means so much to the McCarl family, and Austin would love to give himself an opportunity to win the big show tomorrow night with a solid run here on Hard Knocks Friday, guys.
Thank you very much, Connor. In fact, all 3 McCarls are in action tonight. Austin, the middle, the meat and the sandwich, if you will, as Terry ended up way down in the 91st spot. Austin, though, came home in the 32nd spot, but all 3 of them absolutely will reset tonight, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a clean slate. He'd mentioned it. It's been a finicky Knoxville Nationals. We heard it from a couple of our regulars saying, okay, this is not what we're used to seeing on, a regular weekend night for them. But nonetheless, how this feature plays out, I think simply just having that experience here is going to be huge.
Call it stacking the rundown, so to speak, but we put Aaron Reitzel and Austin McCarl side by side for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, let's talk about what they've done this season so far. They are the leading locals at the Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, I mean, they've both been incredible with racking up the top 5s. I mean, both of them with the 12 top 10 finishes out of the 15 races they've had. So 95 points separate the two. McCarl currently your points leader. Reitzel sitting there in second with 1 extra win over McCarl. So it's been fun. We cover it each and every weekend here on Dirt Vision. I get the chance to usually cover it on Pitbull the next week. These two have been swapping back and forth, whether it's wins or positions on the racetrack all season long.
Austin McCarl, a little bit off this year. Talked to him on the phone earlier today. Does have Rob Hart back in the pits, a longtime member of the World of Outlaws. It's helped so many different teams. He hopes he's going to help him tonight as well. But as far as qualifying goes, that interview was done earlier. We now know the pill draws for Aaron Reitzel. He will be the first car that goes out in flight number 1. 6 cars behind him, it's going to be Austin McCarl. They are on the same side of the ladder, and that's the other reason I bring it up. Not to say it's going to happen, but there is a little bit of an issue between the two, and it stems back from a couple of years ago. Championship night at the Houston Speedway. Austin McCarl in position to gain the 410 track champion. Reitzel just running for the win. Knocks the 88 car out. And you know what? When you get on the wrong side of the McCarls, well, they don't forget about that stuff. In fact, racers, Hannah, you know it firsthand, they don't let stuff like that go.
Yeah, and that move, I think, took Reitzel out of contention for the win as a whole anyways with the flat tires. So definitely a tough situation when it comes down to it. But Reitzel has never shied away from being the show. I mean, if there's going to be one guy that's going to push the limit to put himself in any position to win, it's definitely Aaron Reitzel.
And by the way, we are not saying this is not a prediction of what is to come. It is just showing you what has happened in the past. And if it does come up, well, perhaps you might know why. Who else are we looking at tonight as far as young guns?
Well, there's been a couple times we've talked about him so far, even just here on the pre-race, and that's another one of our young guns being Ryan Timms. We've talked about him a lot on the Dirt Vision airwaves, most notably countering the competition on a very regular basis in the Extreme Outlaw Midgets presented by Toyota. But like many aspiring drivers, the clock ticks, the pressure's on to move up and move up quickly, as Timms recently has made the jump into sprint cars when he isn't driving a midget. Well, now in his sophomore attempt at the Knoxville Nationals is off to a respectable but underplayed pace. He was able to make his way into the A-main on his Wednesday preliminary night. But the points deficit he had to overcome came from his 37th place qualifying effort and a 2nd place heat race run. And it's take 2 now for the 18-year-old driver as he takes on Hard Knocks to try and lock into his first Saturday show.
I feel like we just need more laps here and to be more competitive, and I don't know, a lot of these guys, they ran 360 Nationals or Capitani, so they got a few laps before Nationals, and I hadn't been in a sprint car since Eldora, so it took a few laps to get back comfortable and back to kind of normal. It's nice to be able to get some more laps, and we got kind of something to build off of from last night, so I think just go out there, do the same thing we did last night, and try to get a little better finish.
And a last-minute addition to Tim's schedule, the Knoxville Nationals, was because he was originally actually slated to be headed up towards the Pennsylvania region for the Appalachian Midget Week with the Extreme Outlaw Midgets. That canceled earlier in the week due to Debbie, who made her way through here. It's been beautiful. Sun shining, though. It's a little hot, a little humid, but nonetheless, the rain has subsided. So the team scrapped together and hightailed it to Knoxville, Iowa for Nationals for Tim's to compete.
And how cool to be just 18 years old as of 3 days ago on August 6th birthday. But let's face it, this kid has got talent. We've seen it all season long in the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series presented by Toyota. We've seen it in a wing sprint car. He was a second runner-up at a prelim back at the Houston's High Bank Hustle Night. So this kid can hustle a race car anywhere he goes.
Yeah, it's been fun to see the transition from a lot of these guys that we get to cover in the Extreme Outlaw Midgets, like your Cannon McIntosh, your Buddy Kofoids, your Ryan Timms, that have made their way, their names, they've cut their teeth in these midgets, and then they're jumping up. And now we still get the opportunity to cover them, whether it's 360s on a local basis or, in the biggest stage of sprint car racing here in the Nationals.
Well, dare to dream. Wouldn't it be cool to see Jade Avedizian race a wing sprint car at Knoxville?
I think the day is coming.
Outstanding. Well, yesterday on pre-race, we talked about Landon Crawley, an Outlaws full-timer for Sides Racing, and Emerson Axum, those whose attributes, of course, are very well documented as the odds-on leaders to become the Nationals Rookie of the Year. Well, from a total of 12 first-timers, we sure missed mark when it comes to Northport, Florida's Danny Sims III, the highest points earner of the dozen through the opening 2 nights. There's still some work to be done, though, as the award typically goes to the highest Saturday night finishing rookie. But you have to love the story of a mother and father sacrificing a full year to go out on the road with their son, the D3 racing team owned by Rocky Anderson, to let him chase his dream. Well, after winning a third of the races during Ohio Speed Weeks, including the 10K to win finale at Atomic, all I can say is shame on us for not introducing him to you until now.
I feel like we did pretty good for, our expectations. My first ever time here in a 410, and, just qualified just okay, but had a really good heat race, got some good TV time, was trying to hold off the 5-time champ, and was able to transfer. And then the feature running pretty good, and I lost it there at the end, a couple spots. But yeah, exceeded our expectations. 35th in points out of 100-something cars is not too shabby for our first time ever going around here. Mom and Dad are working really hard back at the car there, and just super blessed for this opportunity. Can't thank Rocky and Impact Signs came on board for the Nationals. Super blessed to have people to believe in me, and I actually feel super confident. I feel like I've turned my cleanest laps around the big track here, and I'm getting more comfortable every time I hit the track. I'm understanding what the car's supposed to feel like on entry, how to carry more speed. We got Rob Hart here helping us this weekend, and he's in my ear telling me what I need to do and how to drive. And we keep fixing something every time we go out, and we feel like we get faster every time we go out.
Family is important as anything, especially a family that supports him the way his parents are doing out there on the road. And he's the guy that's got Rob Hart, again, so much talent in his mind, a mentor to him. He is shifting all of that information into the head of Danny Sams.
Well, and it's so cool to hear that too, and hear him say, every time I've gotten on the racetrack, I've learned, and he's been a sponge, how to enter here, how to get to the center. He's been watching other drivers, and he's got that experience around this racetrack in a 360. But we even heard Tyler Courtney, who just won 360 Nationals yesterday, make the comment how a 360 at Knoxville to a 410 is two completely different beasts. You can't even really compare them in the grand scheme. So it's been a learning curve, and you put yourself on a stage like Knoxville Nationals to attempt that learning curve. I mean, it can be a little bit daunting, but I mean, it's been great to see the progress he's made. And at the end of the day, he cannot leave Knoxville Nationals with the performance he's had with his head hung low, because again, it's all a learning experience at this point in his career.
You know, nothing beats the racetrack, but are you finding the studio stuff okay? You having a good time with the Knoxville Nationals this week?
There's air conditioning here. It's pretty nice, I will say.
That is a fact. And that is a wrap for our studio pre-race, as it's a new night for a potential field of 80 drivers, but it is still two of the best with the cold. That's John Gibson and Tony Bokhoven. In pit side, it's Wade Onger that joins Dirt Vision's Connor Wade for Hard Knocks Friday. A program that began back in 2012, just another reason that the Knoxville Nationals continues to be the granddaddy of them all.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. But if they hang your picture at Knoxville, 1,000 words may not be enough.
Pray before the races, I always have. I probably run 1 million races, and I prayed 1 million times.
Look at Anthony to the bottom. Danny Liskai goes by Sammy for the 12th time. Steve Kinzer has won the Knoxville Nationals. Craig Kinzer is the 45th Knoxville Nationals champion. Donnie Schatz returns to victory lane at the Knoxville Nationals.
I know he wasn't happy with me for crowding him, but shit, I want to win.
Let's shorten the big cat wins the Knoxville Nationals.
To be up here is a dream that I never thought I'd ever come close to being true.
David Gravel wins the Knoxville Nationals. Kyle Larson wins Knoxville Nationals number 2.
Thought it was worth a shot, and he talked the fair board into a $5,000 purse and a Nationals, and it went great, had a good crowd, and it's just been growing ever since.
Welcome to the 63rd running of the Knoxville Nationals.
It is Hard Knocks Friday night at the 63rd running of the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's. Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to Dirt Vision's live coverage from the sprint car capital of the world. My name is Connor Wade here on this Friday evening. It's Hard Knocks night. It's a night that nobody wants to have to run, but you can guarantee that the ones who do have to do it are going to make it perhaps the most intense night of racing all week long. Going to be fun to watch. A lot of cars in the field. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. One of the big storylines today, this is not typical weather for the Knoxville Nationals. 67 degrees as it's dipped below 70 for the first time all week. 12-mile-per-hour winds, a couple of clouds in the sky as the sun is setting. But the good news is no rain in the forecast, and really, even though it's cooler, not a whole lot of moisture in the air either, not at least right now. So a beautiful night for this great field that we have on hand. Let's dive right into the storylines. What a field of cars we have battling for 4 more spots in tomorrow night's Knoxville Nationals finale for $185,000. The top 16 drivers out of the first 2 prelim nights are already locked in. The top 4 out of tonight's feature will lock in as well. Everybody else is going to make up alphabet soup. Let's talk about some drivers in the field to kick off tonight's Wade's World. Of course, several of the full-time drivers with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series are still trying to make it in. Donnie Schatz, the 11-time Knoxville Nationals champion. Buddy Kofoid, the Outlaws' leading Rookie of the Year contender. Logan Schuchart, a driver who's been so close to winning Crown Jewel races multiple times in the past. He still has a long road to hoe. Craig Kinzer, a former winner of the Knoxville Nationals and another Rookie of the Year contender. And Landon Crawley, who actually led laps in heat race competition last night. 4 full-timers with the Outlaws are currently locked in after the 2 prelim nights, those being Sheldon Hansfield, Giovanni Scelzi, Carson McCarl, and Bill Baylod. So a lot of the Outlaws still trying to work their way in. David Ravel and Brock Zierfoss find themselves in B main. So those drivers have a very tough night ahead of them battling such a stout field. Let's talk about one specifically, and that is the 11-time Knoxville Nationals champion, Donnie Schatz. You heard from Donnie in the pre-race show with Dave Reef and Hannah Newhouse back in the studio in Concord, North Carolina. And Donnie told us that after their preliminary night on Wednesday, They did not like that race car whatsoever, so they decided to completely change it, put the new body on, of course, did put their Knoxville motor in, but went back to the car and most of the equipment that they actually ran with the Outlaws here in June and had a really solid weekend, passed a lot of cars here back in June. And the Donnie had been running recently, ran well in that car at Peevely, won with it at Wilmot just a couple of weeks ago. So Donnie's become pretty familiar with it and is really comfortable in it, so that familiarity and comfort could just lead to Donnie being able to completely turn around his Knoxville week. It is the first time in Donnie's career that he's ever had to run the Hard Knocks preliminary. Normally he's already locked in by this point, if not to the feature, has a chance in the B main. So unfamiliar territory for Donnie just running this night, but he views it as a new opportunity to find speed as he looks to put Wednesday completely behind him. So Donnie will be interesting to watch as well as those other full-time Outlaws, but it's not just the full-time Outlaws in the field tonight. Other drivers such as the defending 410 track champion here at Knoxville Raceway, Austin McCarl. McCarl told me earlier today that last night he felt like he had never even driven a sprint car before. Spent a lot of time overnight and this afternoon making a ton of changes to just about everything on that car and hoping to find more speed here tonight. His brother, Carson McCarl, made the preliminary feature on Wednesday night, but just didn't have a lot of speed in the feature. Both he and his brother looking for some success here tonight. Parker Price Miller, he started the Nationals finale 4 times. He had really high expectations after a podium with the Outlaws here in June and speed at the Kings Royal. PPM in the field tonight, hoping to get a spot in the top 4, as is Spencer Basin, who was in the show last year, and Aaron Reitzel, who won this very night last year. Now, it's interesting, Reitzel was 27th in points after the first 2 prelim nights. The top 16 locked into the feature, 17 through 26 locked into the last chance showdown for tomorrow night. So that means Reitzel was only 1 spot away from not having to race tonight. He told me earlier he honestly probably would have raced anyway, so that'll be interesting to watch. All of those drivers in total, 79 cars in the field this evening, and that's interesting because that is the most cars we'll have racing in one night, at least to this point in the week. We'll probably have more tomorrow by the time it all shakes out, but only car counts in the 50s for the first 2 prelim nights, so significantly more cars in this pit area tonight. The pit area is more packed, the work areas are going to be more tight, might be a little more chaotic down here, and there's going to be more cars qualifying. There's going to be more heat races, more cars taken to the track in alphabet soup, so we could see the track change a lot quicker tonight than it has the first 2 nights. A little bit more on tonight's format. Like I said, top 4 finishers will transfer out of tonight's feature into the tail end of tomorrow's feature. They'll start 21st through 24th. 5th place will start 11th in tomorrow night's last chance showdown. And everybody further down the list tonight, whether it's in the feature, the B main, or the C main, will find themselves in alphabet soup tomorrow. So if you don't make the feature tonight, you're probably in a E, an F, a D, something like that tomorrow night. So you do not have an easy road to make it into the Knoxville Nationals. It's crazy to me to think that whoever runs 4th tonight has a guaranteed spot in the show, and whoever runs 5th has a lot of cars to pass in the B main just to get in tomorrow. So there is a huge difference between 4th and 5th and transferring and not transferring in this race, and that's always what makes Hard Knocks one of the most entertaining nights of the week. So again, nobody wants to be here, but the ones that are here, they know they've got their work cut out for them. 4 drivers will get lucky and make it in, and everybody else is going to have a really difficult time sleeping going into the finale of the Knoxville Nationals. Let's take a look at the order of events for our program this evening. We'll start things off with hot laps and Seafoam qualifying. Seafoam qualifying a little bit different. Only 1 flight through the first 2 prelim nights. However, tonight that qualifying will be split field, so multiple groups, 40 cars in one, 39 in the other. After qualifying, we'll take a brief break for opening ceremonies before 6 8-lap heat races tonight. That's also a little bit different in terms of the heat races. The first 2 nights, 5 10-lap heat races. Tonight, 6 8-lap heat races. A quick intermission after that for some track prep. A 10-lap C-Main, a 12-lap Microlight Last Chance Showdown, and a 25-lap Hard Knocks feature. Again, the top 4 making it in. A lot of money on the line tonight as well. A really cool gesture that Knoxville Raceway and the World of Outlaws Knox Energy Drink Sprint Car Series came together to do, and that's to pay out really good in this field. So the drivers that do have that tough road to navigate tomorrow are still at least going to put some money in the bank at the end of the week. We're just about 3 minutes away from starting hot laps here from the sprint car capital of the world. I'm Connor Wade. Wade Onger will be joining me down here in the pit area this evening, as he has all week. We'll tip things up to the booth. The Hall of Famers, Tony Bokhoven, and the voice of the World of Outlaws Knox Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, John Gibson. Gentlemen, good evening. Can you guys remember, in all the Knoxville Nationals that you have called, a Hard Knocks preliminary night that was as stacked as the one we're about to see tonight?
You know, Connor, we've talked about that up here in the booth, and really, I don't think I can remember this many big names competing on Friday evening during the Knox Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. And we see the cars now making their way to the staging lane for the practice sessions, and Tony Bokhoven, looking at the track, we have not seen it this wet for the beginning of practice here all week long, but again, with 79 cars signed in, they're going to leave a little moisture in the racetrack.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We have way more cars tonight than what we've seen the first two nights, so a little extra moisture in the track. Now, the interesting thing is it's been really cool here in comparison to the first couple of days. So the Duncans know what they're doing, that's for sure. And so we'll bring the cars out. Trucks have been out on the racetrack already, and now we'll leave the rest up to the cars.
So I imagine we'll see the first couple of groups of cars roll onto the speedway and do some wheel packing like we have each of the first two nights. They'll peel group number 2 back into the infield and wave the green flag on group number 1. And as Connor mentioned, things are a little bit different here this evening with Flight A and Flight B, and those drivers really won't compete against each other until we line up tonight's 25-lap feature. We'll have 3 heat races for Flight A, their own C-Main, their own Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Same thing with Flight B. So again, a little bit different, more like we saw on Sunday evening with the running of the Capitani Classic as the first practice session rolls on to the speedway. First driver out from Fairmount, Indiana, the TI-22 Performance Linville Repair New Era Plumbing, number 6B of Brandon Wimmer.
From Lubbock, Texas, the Carbon Safety Technologies High Plains Building Division, Wilson Record Service, car number 1C, that's Brenham Crouch.
Car number 36, that is the Bybee Electric Trucks Plus Mel Hamilton Racing entry. Driver out of Liberal, Kansas is Jason Martin.
From Jacksonville, Oregon, the boss, Shane DeWall Trucking, DZ Custom Truck Accessories, car number 18T, that's Tanner Holmes.
And from Springfield, Nebraska, the Estenson Racing True Line Logistics, Arai, Yamalu Backlund Plumbing, number 14J of Jack Dover.
From Altoona, Iowa, the Country Builders Construction, Ochoco West Muddy Outdoors Tucker Trucking, car number 88, that's Austin McCarl.
And from Arvada, Colorado, in the 360 Civil K&C Drywall, Burke Motorsports, 27B, Jake Buback.
Gage Polkerbeck from East Grand Forks, Minnesota. He drives the Proceed Ag Serve, KW Repair, Phil Thompson and Associates, JW Repair G5.
And the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender out of Benton, Arkansas, driving the MPV Express King Racing Products, Jim Shooknecht, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Development, number 7S Landon Crawley.
From Cobble Hill, British Columbia, Canada, the C&D Rigging Microlight Feed Ingredients, Steve Beitler Yacht Charters, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Brewer Home Improvements, car number 6 of Robbie Price.
And from New Berlin, Illinois, the Brandt Professional Agriculture, Shepherd Auto Sales and Salvage, FK Rod Ends, S&J Great Trucking, 3N of Jake Newman.
From Sydney, New South Wales, driving the City State Bank Tyloo, Midwest Seamless Vortex Racing Products, car number 2X, that's Linton Jeffrey.
And the 11-time Nationals winner from Fargo, North Dakota, the CarQuest Ford Performance Curb Sage Fruit Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, number 15 of Donnie Schatz.
JJ Hickel from Quilcene, Washington. He drives the Absolute Plumbing Hohen Road Ranch QTC Promotions, car number 22X.
And from Lebanon, Indiana, aboard the True Timber Camo, Nice Creed Atlantis Block JRC Transportation, High Performance Lubricants, number 5, Spencer Basted.
From Germantown, Tennessee, the the Eclipse Claim Consulting, TetherTech Safety USA, High Performance Lubricants, Apex Motorsports. Car number 1 of Sammy Swindell.
And from Northport, Florida, in car number 24D, the Global Link Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps. Shop D3.com, DirtCrowd.com, entry of Danny Sams III.
From Clute, Texas, driving the Fulkins Brothers Trucking, STC Global Commercial Edge, Rasmussen Service Center, American Table. Car number 87, that's Aaron Reitzel.
And from Warren, Minnesota, the Up North Plumbing and Heating, Johnson Family Farms, Self-Wine Farms, Bennett Construction, Olson Underground, number 27W of Weston Olson.
And from Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator, Higher View Enterprises, Youngco Builders, Tom Davis Automotive, car number 44, that's Chris Martin.
Drivers given instructions via the Racing Electronics one-way communication system to get those left side tires right down in the sloppy stuff on the bottom of the speedway, trying to work in the lower portion of the racetrack before we peel off the cars in group number 2 and wave the green flag on group number 1. So now further word given to the drivers. The bottom looks pretty good. They're going to scatter them out around the racetrack, do a little bit more wheel packing all across the racing surface before we wave the green flag on our opening practice session. 8 practice sessions scheduled here this evening, 4 for each of our flights. And now group number 2 being instructed to bring their cars back to the infield, so we are moments away from waving the green flag on the first practice session of the evening at FVP Hard Knocks Night, the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Cars now begin to come up to speed. Drivers still instructed to be pretty careful. It is still quite slippery out there, so we're going to increase the speed a little bit, but certainly don't look for lap times to be anywhere near what we will see during Seafoam qualifying. Just a matter of getting the track worked into shape here in this opening practice session. Green flag in the air. The 2023 IRA Sprint Car Champion, Brent Crouch, working his way down the backstretch. Spencer Baston in the CJB Motorsports number 5. Lap times, only in the 21-second bracket, so we're still quite a ways off from the lap times that we'd like to see. Donnie Schatz first into the 20s. Brandon Wimmer into the low 20s, as is Danny Sams, and now Spencer Baston first into the 19s. Now we're in the 18s already and into the 17s. Wow, that went quickly. Aaron Reitzel at a 17.297. Donnie Schatz takes the top spot at a 17.065. And track really coming in quite quickly. Schatz, Brenham Crouch, Aaron Reitzel, your top 5 so far. White flag waving, final lap in practice session number 1. Donnie Schatz now into the mid-16s as the checkered flag flies on the first practice session. Donnie Schatz, the fastest driver in the first practice session, 16.550 seconds at 112.024 miles per hour. Danny Sam second quick, 16.736. Brenham Crouch third, 16.875. Brandon Wimmer and Spencer Based in the top 5 as group number 2 now returns to the speedway, this time ready for full speed action. Jake Newman back out in the 3 and the Brant Professional Agriculture entry.
Gage Polkerbeck in the car number G5 in the Proceed entry.
Robbie Price in the C&D rigging number 6.
Linton Jeffrey in the City State Bank 2X.
C&D elevator construction number 44 of Chris Martin.
The 360 Civil 27B of Jake Buback.
Landon Crawley in the MPV Express number 7S.
Sammy Swindell in the Eclipse Claim Consulting car number 1.
And JJ Hickle in the Absolute Plumbing 22X.
And Tanner Holmes in the Boss 18T.
It'll be a green-white checkered practice session for the drivers in group number 2 as the green flag waves. Problem for Gage Polkerbeck as he takes the G5 back into the infield. Meanwhile, under green flag conditions in the second practice session. Landon Crawley into the 16s at a 16.991. Jake Buback now takes the top spot overall at a 16.501. Tanner Holmes supplants him with a 16.280. And Linton Jeffrey now at a 16.165. Landon Crawley to the 3rd spot. Buback now reclaims that position. And Sammy Swindell into the top 5 as Tanner Holmes goes to the top of the list. Fastest driver in group number 2 and fastest overall so far in warm-ups, the 18T of Tanner Holmes, 16.158. Linton Jeffrey now second, 16.165. Chris Martin third, Jake Buback fourth, and Sammy Swindell rounds out the top 5 after 2 practice sessions.
Ryan Roberts rolling onto the racetrack from Aurora, Nebraska. He drives the Mid-Nebraska Lane Developers, Diminar Manufacturing 18 Express Moss Racing Engines, car number 18R.
And from Apollo, Pennsylvania, in the Mercedes Motorsports Ducati of Pittsburgh Diesel Property Management, Mike Kleck Paving, number 42, it's Cy Lynch.
Sawyer Phillips from Pleasantville, Iowa, the Ruan, work for Ruan.com, Boyerton Core Show Cattle, Ulrich Ford, car number 3P.
And from LaGrange, Ohio, the Heat Star Cherries Outdoor World Chalk Sticks Elite Wings, Mr. Heater, 11, and of Casey Jedrzejczyk.
From T, South Dakota, Driving the Pequot Tool Manufacturing, Hertz Precision Parts, Travis Electric, Epoxico, 168 Manufacturing, car number 5X of Justin Henderson.
And from Knoxville, Iowa, the victory, Fuel Accurate Machine Works, Pella Motors, Click Paving and Seal Coating, Randall Roofing, 4W of Jamie Ball.
From Des Moines, Iowa, in the Interstate Batteries Hy-V Delta Dental Autojet 55T, that's McKenna Hassey.
And from Grand Forks, North Dakota, the Buffalo Wild Wings, Lundstrom Motorsports, Dahlstrom Motors, DeKalb C, GOB Trucking 13, JT of Dynamite, Mark Dobmeyer.
And from Pengrove, California, the TRD Mobile One, Roth Motorsports, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock 83 Jr. of Buddy Kofoid.
Green flag on practice session number 3. Justin Henderson into 16.693, quickest so far in this group, and now Buddy Kofoid into the top 5, and Kelby Watt quickest overall at a 15.974. Sawyer Phillips now 15.839. Cy Lynch into the 3rd spot. Justin Henderson now quickest, 15.8. Jamie Ball takes that spot back at a 15.724. As the checker flag waves, Mark Dobmeyer moves into the 2nd spot. Jamie Ball is now the fastest driver in warm-ups this evening, 15.724 seconds at 117.909 miles per hour. Mark Dobmeyer second, 15.757. Justin Henderson in 3rd, as the 4th practice session now rolls trackside, led out by car number 23 and the Mid-Nebraska Land Developers, M&R Manufacturing, 18 Express Moss Racing Engines entry. Driver out of Cherville, North Carolina is Lance Moss.
From Altoona, Iowa, driving the DeBerg Concrete Justice Brothers, CM Rock, Bosma Family Farms, Skadden Construction, car number 24, that's Terry McCarl.
Car number 55C, the Knox Energy Drink, Logan Contractor Supply, TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Zip Bonds entry. Driver out of Canton, Illinois is Chris Wyndham.
From Sioux Falls in the Riser Grain, EMM Sales and Service, Gift CPA, IOC, Al Driveline, car number 58, that's Caleb Johnson.
And rolling down the backstretch now from West Burlington, Iowa, the Land Pride Morning Sun Farm Implement Fendt Massey Ferguson Metalcraft 49J of Josh Schneiderman.
The 15 junior from Burlington, Iowa, that's Cole Meitzer. The Schaefer Construction, Dennis Woodworth, Attorney at Law, Flex Suites on Naples, 15 junior.
And from Neptune City, New Jersey, the Capital Renegade Custom Coaches and Trailers, Henry's Wrecker Service, Coors Banquet Beer, Easy Go entry for Kyle Reinhardt.
From Pleasantville, Iowa, driving the I-80 Concrete Double Doe, Ankeny Home Service, car number 1D, that's Tasker Phillips.
And Jimmy Light on the speedway, car number 23L. He drives the Horsepower Incorporated, Penick Insurance, Donna's Pool and Patio entry. We are green on the 4th practice session, the final practice session for the drivers in Flight A here this evening, as Clint Garner makes his way into turn 3. Garner out of Sioux Falls, he drives the Midwest Excavation, number 40. Jimmy Light to the top of the speed chart. Light turns a 15.667. Clint Garner now takes that spot back, 15.622. So Clint Garner now fastest overall in warm-ups, 15.622. Jimmy Light second, Jamie Ball third, Mark Dobmeyer fourth, and Terry McCarl fifth.
From Bloomington, Indiana, driving the Premier Motorsports, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Lumber and Things, Border Tire. That's the 70 of Craig Kinzer.
And from Hanover, Pennsylvania, the driving Duramax C&D Rigging Federated Auto Parts Shark Racing number 1S of Logan Schuhart.
From Enum Claw, Washington, driving the KKR with Mike Kerr, Ruma's Collection Factory, Kane Shocks, Kane Screen Print, number 9, that's Casey. From Enum Claw, Washington, driving the Casey Kane Racing with Mike Kerr, Ruma's Collection Factory, Kane Shocks, Kane Screen Print, that's the 9 of Casey Kane.
And car number 6W, the Wilco Services TI-22 Performance Linville Repair Team DGRD entry driver out of Indianola, Iowa is Dustin Selvage.
From Gravois Mills, Missouri, driving the Ozarks Barge and Dock, Wet Steps, High Performance Lubricants, Hibbing Gravel, Kings Tile. That's the 3G of Ayrton Geniton.
Skylar G out of Leduc, Alberta, Canada. The Warrior Building Development Building Packages Direct Nelson Brothers Construction Pack Rat Dumpsters number 99.
And from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, driving the Weikert's Livestock RV 4WD, Derek Snyder Self-Made Racing, York Excavating. That's the 48 of Danny Dietrich.
Sheedy Coolers, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, Blackburn Construction Smokers First Cigar Bar 19H of Joel Myers Jr.
Out of Newton, Iowa, driving the IndyCar at Iowa Speedway, Hy-Vee Events, that's the 9H of Landon Hansen.
Craig Kinzer into the top 5, Logan Schuhart now quickest overall. Schuhart has gone to 15.369.
From Locust Grove, Oklahoma, driving the Dirty Air, Ike's Performance, Christensen Family Foundation, Donna's Pool and Patio, Haas Hollage. That's the 25 of Dayson Persley.
Logan Schuhart now the fastest driver overall in warm-ups, 15.369. Danny Dietrich now second quick at a 15.604. Skylar G third, Clint Garner fourth, and Casey Kane rounding out the top 5. First driver out for the next practice session out of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, the Supreme Poultry, Mama's Pizza, Scorpion Racewear 53 of Jesse Adard.
From Lubbock, Texas, driving the Taco Casa, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Burkham Contracting, Scott Baylor Racing Engines. That's the J2 of John Carney II.
And from Odessa, Missouri, the Motor Haven, Schnee Lawson Chassis TNT Performance Equine, Design Source Flooring, number 74, Xavier Doney.
From Lemoore, California, driving the Tarleton & Son, Complete Parts and Equipment, Executive Auto Sales, Empire Machining, Bandy and Associates. That's the 21T of Cole Macedo.
And from Sanborn, Minnesota, the Tromp Farms, Joe Pinion Trucking, Wonder Check Ag Service, Anderson Farms, Golden Harvest Engine 24T, Christopher Trom.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, driving the Itco General Contractors, Daystar Directional Drilling, Collision Concepts, Horsepower Incorporated. That's the 35 of Zach Hampton.
And Don Trout Jr. out of Lincoln, Nebraska, driving car number 1M, the Team Jack Foundation, England Machine and Tool, King Racing Products, Chalkstick, Schoenfeld Headers entry.
From Springfield, Illinois, driving the Rockstar Energy Drink Flaming Hot, Ryan Auto, Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh. That's the 65 of Jordan Goldsberry.
And Ryan Timms out of Oklahoma City, the Sidgard Engine Oil, Hamble Oil, Mystic Lubricants, Western Flyer Express, Death Ridge Optical 5T.
And from Billings, Montana, driving the C&L Service, Belt Clothing, JJM Performance. That's the 28 of Joe Perry.
Don Trout Jr. fastest so far in this session. 14th quickest overall at a 15.859. Logan Schuhart still fastest overall. Danny Dietrich second, Skylar G third, Clint Garner fourth, and Casey Kane in fifth. Two more practice sessions scheduled for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. First out in this group from Sanssouci, New South Wales, Australia. The Protofab Engineering, Mystic Lubricants, Frattle & Company, Stillwater Motors, 14T of Brooke Tatnall.
From 6 Mile, South Carolina, driving the Tear-Off Apparel, Reynolds Farms, Black Swamp Trucking, Van Der Ecken Motorsports. That's the 10V of Brian Paulus.
And from Grimes, Iowa, the Kenworth Phillips Floors Academy Roofing, Maxwell Aircraft Service Pro Diesel 2M of Ryan Giles.
From Overland Park, Kansas, driving the JB Henderson Construction, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium Miller Bonded. That's the 45X of Jace Park.
And from Minden, Nevada, the Smith Titanium, Holovodka, Rod Gross Motorsports, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Factory Kane, 88T of Tanner Thorson.
From Altoona, Iowa, driving the Jetco, Blondie Motorsports, Prosper Real Estate, DeBerg Concrete, Aggressive Hydraulics, Coleman Backman Cooler. That's the 27 of Carson McCarl.
And from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, the Redzig Excavating, DNR Racing, Centerline Pouring, Smith Titanium, 49X, the Steel City Outlaw, Tim Schaefer.
From San Jose, California, driving the Acres Away Ag Dakota Alignment, Elite Truck, Lundstrom Motorsports, First National Bank. That's the 3 of Tim Kading.
And Zeb Wise out of Angola, Indiana, drives the Sundollar Restoration, Ford Performance, Sage Fruit, Race Redeem Foundation, number 26.
From Knoxville, Iowa, driving the QTC, Goodnow Promotions, Stivers Ford Lincoln, Schilling Excavating. That's the 22 of Riley Goodnow.
Zeb Wise, 15th quickest overall. Currently fastest in this group. Caution and checkered flags wave simultaneously. Tim Schaefer with a problem on the high side in corner number 4, bringing the Redzig Excavating number 49X to a stop. Final practice session rolling toward the speedway. First out from Sapulpa, Oklahoma, the Smiley's Race Products, Glenn Stires Racing, Aces Up, Sim Sports, CSR Garage, Scissor Tails Racing Development, 52 of Blake Hahn.
From Eagle, Nebraska, driving the Forbes Motorsports, MySalesman.com, American Trailer Company, Cherney Enterprises, Drucke Trucking. That's the 95 of Tyler Drucke.
And from Sykeston, Missouri, the High Breeder Foundation Service Marchand Cattle Company Inland Rigging, 19S of Hunter Schurenberg.
From Franklin, Indiana, driving the WCI, Petrie Excavating, KPM Capital Industries, that's the 27A of Emerson Axum.
And from Kokomo, Indiana, behind the wheel of the Chalk 6 Torsion Bars, Elite Wings, and Poxico High Performance Lubricants, 9P Parker Price Miller.
From St. Mary's, New South Wales, driving the TK Concrete, King Racing Products, Zip Bonds, Maxim Trucking and Materials, BR Motorsports, that's the bad man, Kerry Matson.
17 GP from Fairland, Indiana, in the Michael Dutcher Motorsports, Lifestyle Homes, Griffiths, Propane, Parallax Motorsports, entry, Cale Thomas.
From Huron, South Dakota, driving the It's Showtime, Churl Willinger Electric Olympic Motors, that's the 2K of Kevin Engel.
And Sam Hafer Team Jr. working around the speedway in the Town Line Variety, True North Bet, Cigarport.ca, High Performance Lubricants, 15H. Hunter Schurenberg into the 8th spot overall. He is the fastest driver so far in the final practice session at 15.690 seconds, 118.164 miles per hour as the checkered flag waves. That concludes practice for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series on FVP Hard Knocks Night at the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's. Logan Schuhart, the fastest driver overall at 15.369 seconds. Average speed on that lap, 120.632 miles per hour. Danny Dietrich, second fastest, 15.604. Skylar G, third. Clint Garner, fourth. And Casey Kane rounds out the top 5. Craig Kinzer, sixth. Jimmy Light, seventh. Hunter Schurenberg, eighth. Jamie Ball, ninth. And Mark Dobmeyer in the 10th spot. 2 flights of Seafoam qualifying coming up next on the Speedway. 2 cars at a time, 2 laps on the clock. Faster of those 2 laps, that driver's official qualifying time for tonight's race program. Flight A, the drivers will be competing in heat races 1, 2, and 3. Flight B, the drivers in heat races 4, 5, and 6 as we get downstairs to Connor Wade.
John, you were part of a press conference yesterday that announced this man, Cole Macedo, as the newest rookie for the Outlaws in 2025. Cole, I know you're thinking about next year, but do you feel like first, before you can focus on that, you have to finish 2024, and does that include making the Knoxville Nationals?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, you know, the announcement was yesterday, and today's another day. I still got a whole rest of the season to run. I just got a little less stress. I can kind of just go and race as hard as I can. So, yeah, my biggest priority right now is trying to make this Nationals another crown jewel event, and Drew Warren and the guys are all working hard to get me in the show.
Now, you pulled a little bit of a late pill, going to go out late in qualifying, but it is split field qualifying tonight, which is different than your prelim night earlier in the week. Does that change your mindset at all?
Yeah, it's just, you know, drawing a little bit late is definitely a lot tougher, but, you know, we're here to learn, so we're going to try to make the best of it, and, yeah, hopefully we can, you know, squeeze into a decent qualifying spot, get through our heat, and, yeah, have another good night.
Cole Macedo made the Kings Royal in the Newton car, but he's been fast in this Tarleton 21 on the West Coast this year, guys.
Certainly has. Thank you, Connor Wade, as we get set to stage the cars for the first flight of Seafoam qualifying. Slight difference in format from the first 2 nights as far as the inversions are concerned in the heat races as well. We saw a full 8-car inversion in the heat races on nights 1 and 2. Tonight, a 4-car inversion in heat races that will transfer the top 3 finishers directly into tonight's feature. Also, another little tweak in the Hard Knocks format from last year. The drivers in tonight's feature will line up according to their Seafoam qualifying times, but behind that, everything else lines up according to heat race finish. So the drivers finishing 4th, 5th, and 6th in heat race action go to the Microlight Last Chance Showdowns. Behind them, the drivers will be in the C main. So again, further forward you finish in a heat race, the better off you are here this evening. You don't go back to your Seafoam qualifying time for lineup purposes. Xavier Doney preparing for Seafoam qualifying action in that number 74. Doney's done a little bit more wing racing in 2024, but also very successful without the wing on the car. He's had 3 non-wing wins this season. Lake Ozark, Crawford County, and Lakeside Speedway. 15 nights with the wing on the car, best finish 8th on 2 occasions. A correction on that format for tonight. 4th through 9th in the heat races go to the Microlight Last Chance Showdowns. Behind them to the C mains. We'll have pretty stacked heat races, even with 6 of them scheduled here tonight. Understand there's just a little bit of moisture down on the very bottom of the speedway at the exit of turn 2. You can see the track crew out there working on that situation right now. That is the slight holdup before we begin our Seafoam qualifying flights.
You know, Johnny, taking a look at Logan Schuart on the screen, that's a guy who, you know, you'd think racing on a Hard Knocks night would be a little bit more stress, but seems to be smiling, good spirits. You know, a prelim night winner just a couple of years ago. Got to think tonight, you know, really depends on how you do tonight. Sets you up for tomorrow night. Connor said a good point. 4 guys are going to sleep really good tonight, and the rest are going to have to wait it out till tomorrow. Logan Schuart hopes to be one of those 4 tonight.
Schuart looking for his 4th career victory here at the Knoxville Raceway. Set now to begin Seafoam qualifying with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Flight A. First 2 qualifiers roll onto the racing surface. From Clute, Texas, the Falcons Brothers Trucking, STC Global, Commercial Edge, Rasmussen Service Center, American Table, number 87 of Aaron Reitzel. And joining him, another Texan from Lubbock in the Carbon Safety Technologies High Plains Building Division, Wilson Ricker Service, number 1C, it's Brenham Crouch. Aaron Reitzel in 87, Brenham Crouch in the number 1C. Reitzel's opening lap, 15.695, 15.695, 118.127 miles per hour. Crouch goes a 15.742, 15.742. Second time by for Reitzel, faster at a 15.657, 15.657. Second time around for Brenham Crouch is not as good. It's a 16-second flat lap. First lap better at 15.742.
Your next car is rolling out on the racetrack now, leading the way from Springfield, Nebraska, driving the Estenson Racing, True Line Logistics, Arai, Yamalu, Blacklund Plumbing. That's the 14J of Jack Dover. And also on the track from Liberal, Kansas, driving the Bybee Electric Trucks Plus, Mel Hamilton Racing. That's the 36 of Jason Martin. Jason Martin in the 36. Jack Dover, 1 win this season in 360 competition. That came on May 18th at the Off-Road Speedway. First lap time across the board for Jack Dover is 3rd quick, a 15.885, 15.885 for Jack Dover. And the first lap time for Jason Martin is 4th quick, a 16.292, 16.292 for Jason Martin. Second lap time for Dover is better, a 15.874, 15.874, 3rd quick for Dover. And the second lap time for Martin is also better, 4th quick, a 16.108, 16.108 for Jason Martin.
Next pair pushing onto the speedway from Lebanon, Indiana in the True Timber Camo. Nice Queen Atlantis Block, JRC Transportation, High Performance Lubricants. Number 5, it's Spencer Baston. And along with him, from Warren, Minnesota, the Up North Plumbing and Heating, Johnson Family Farms, Self-Wine Farms, Bennett Construction, Olson Underground. Number 27W of Weston Olson. Spencer Baston in the 5, Weston Olson in the 27W. Baston looking to lock into his 2nd ever Nationals Saturday night feature. First lap for Spencer Baston, 4th quick, 15.923, 15.923. Weston Olson's opening lap time is a 16:7:26, 1:6:726. Second lap time for Spencer Baston, better, still fourth quickest at a 15:8:94, 1:5:894. And for Weston Olson, his second lap improves as well. He goes 16:6:0, 1:16:601.
Next to push out from Altoona, Iowa, driving the Country Builders Construction, Ochoco West, Muddy Outdoors, Tucker Trucking, that's the 88, the big unit, Austin McCarl. And from Northport, Florida, driving the Global Inc., Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps, ShopD3.com, DirtCrowd.com, that's the 24D of Danny Sams. Danny Sams in the 24D. Austin McCarl, our weekly point leader here in the 988 Lifeline 410 Sprint Car Series here at the Knoxville Raceway. First lap time for McCarl is third quick of 15:7:70, 1:5:770. And the first lap time for Danny Sams the third is a 16:175, 1:6:175 for Danny Sams. Austin McCarl, second lap time is quick time, 15:4:34, 1:5:4:34 for Austin McCarl. And the second lap time for Danny Sams the third is better, 6 quick, 16:006, 1:6:006.
An 11-time Nationals champion leads the next pair of Seafoam qualifiers trackside from Fargo, North Dakota. The CarQuest Ford Performance Curb with Sage Fruit, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, number 15 of Donnie Schatz. And along with him from Fairmount, Indiana, in car number 6B, the TI-22 Performance Linville Repair New Era Plumbing entry, it's Brandon Wimmer. Donnie Schatz in 15, Brandon Wimmer in the 6B. Quick time for Donnie Schatz on lap 1, 15:3:74, 1:5:374. Brandon Wimmer's first lap is ninth fastest, 16:163, 1:6:163. Second lap time for Donnie Schatz, 15:4:58. First lap better, 15:3:74. Brandon Wimmer, the second time around, improves to eighth fastest at a 16:039, 1:6:039.
From Arvada, Colorado, driving the 360 Civil, KNC Drywall, Burke Motorsports, that's the 27B of Jake Buback. And from Germantown, Tennessee, driving the Eclipse Claim Consulting, TetherTech Safety USA, High Performance Lubricants, Apex Motorsports, that's the one of Sammy Swindell. Jake Buback, a three-time winner this season, two-time a winner at the Airport Speedway and Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association, and a one-time winner with the ASCS at Boone County Speedway back on June 28th. First lap time across the board for Jake Buback is 10th quick, a 16:130, 1:6:130. And the first lap time for Sammy Swindell is 11th quick, a 16:477, 1:6:477. Sammy Swindell looking to make his 35th A feature appearance at the Knoxville Nationals. Jake Buback's second lap time is better, a 16:085, 1:6:085. That's ninth quick for Buback. And Swindell's second lap is also better, 11th quick, 16:335, 1:6:335.
Next two out for Seafoam qualifying from Jacksonville, Oregon, in the boss, Shane DeWalt Trucking, S-Tech Carbon Works, DZ Custom Truck Accessories, number 18T. It's Tanner Holmes. And joining him, a World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender out of Benton, Arkansas, the MPV Express King Racing Products, Jim Shooknecht, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Development, number 7S of Landon Crawley. Tanner Holmes in the 18T, Landon Crawley in the number 7S. Holmes 7th in the Saturday C-Main in his Nationals debut last year. First lap time for Tanner Holmes, 9th quick, 16:066, 1:6:066. Crawley goes 16:103, 1:6:103. That is 11th out of 14 so far. Second time by for Tanner Holmes, 4th quick at a 15:7:03, 1:5:7:03. Crawley jumps into the top 10, 10th quick at a 16:081, 1:6:081.
From Cobble Hill, British Columbia, Canada, driving the C&D Rigging, Microlight Feed Ingredients, Steve Beitler Yacht Charters, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Brewer Home Improvement. That's the 6 of Robbie Price. And from Sydney, New South Wales, driving the Sydney State Bank, Ty Lube, Midwest Seamless, Vortex Racing Products. That's the 2X of Linton Jeffrey. Linton Jeffrey in the 2X. Linton Jeffrey currently 4th in our 988 Lifeline 410 point standings here at the Knoxville Raceway. First lap time across the board for Robbie Price is 10th quick, a 16:048, 160.48. And Linton Jeffrey's first lap goes 3rd quick, 15:632, 156.32 for Linton Jeffrey. Robbie Price off the pace over in turn number 4 and coming down the front stretch slowly. Second lap time for Linton Jeffrey is slower of 15:685, 156.85. He'll take his first lap 3rd quick for Linton Jeffrey.
Yeah, run it on and off there.
Second quick for Linton Jeffrey there at 15:428, 154.28 for Linton Jeffrey.
So the Rose Motorsports number 6 being pushed back to the pit area as we get set to bring our next 2 Seafoam qualifiers onto the speedway. Donnie Schatz fastest so far, 15.374. Austin McCarl second at a 15.434. Linton Jeffrey's actual time a 15.632, so Jeffrey did take a 3rd lap on the speedway. So the official time for the second lap, 15.632. As your next 2 Seafoam qualifiers make their way onto the speedway, from New Berlin, Illinois, the Brent Professional Agriculture, Shepherd Auto Sales and Salvage, FK Rod Ends, S&J Gray Trucking, number 3N, Jake Newman. And along with him, from East Grand Forks, Minnesota, driving the Proceed Ag Serve, KW Repair, Phil Thompson Associates, JW Repair, G5 Gauge, Polk, Quebec. Jake Newman in 3N Gauge, Polk, Quebec in the G5. Lap 1 for Jake, 16.207, 16.207. Polk, Quebec's opening lap, a 16.619, 16.619. Newman made his Knoxville Raceway debut Sunday night at the Capitani Classic, finished 10th in the first C main. Second lap this evening, a 16.296. First lap better at 16.207. Polk, Quebec better on lap 2 at a 16.184, 16.184.
Pushing out from Quilcene, Washington, driving the Absolute Plumbing, Hohen Road Ranch, QTC Promotions. That's the 22X of J.J. Hickel. And from Ankeny, Iowa, driving the C&D Elevator Construction, Higherview Enterprises, Youngco Builders, Tom Davis Automotive. That's the 44 of Chris Martin. Chris Martin in the 44. Chris Martin, a regular with us here at the Knoxville Raceway, currently 14th in your 988 Lifeline 410 Sprint Car point standings here at the Knoxville Raceway. First lap time for J.J. Hickel is 9th quick, a 15.897, 15.897. And Chris Martin's first lap time is 18th quick, a 16.266, 18.266. The second lap time for J.J. Hickel is slower, a 16.105, 16.105, still 9th quick for Hickel. And the second lap time for Chris Martin is better, still 18th quick, a 16.224, 16.224.
Next 2 to make their way onto the speedway, from Grand Forks, North Dakota, in the Buffalo Wild Wings, Leinster Motorsports, Tolster Motors, DeKalb C, GOB Trucking, number 13, JT Dynamite, Mark Dobmeyer, and paired with him from Pengrove, California, in the Toyota Racing Development, Mobile 1, Roth Motorsports, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation, 83 Junior, it's Buddy Kofoid. Mark Dobmeyer in the 13 JT, Buddy Kofoid in the 83 Junior. Dobmeyer owns 14 career victories here at the Knoxville Raceway. 10 wins on the season. Lap number 1 for Dynamite, 15th quick at a 16.088, 16088. Kofoid 10th quick on lap 1 at a 16.004, 16004. Daubmeyer now into the top 10, 15.996, 15996. Kofoid reclaims the 10th spot at a 15.943, 15943.
From Knoxville, Iowa, driving the Victory Fuel, Accurate Machine Works, Pella Motors, Kleck Paving and Seal Coating, Randall Roofing. That's the 4W of Jamie Ball. And from Aurora, Nebraska, driving the Mid-Nebraska Land Developers, M&R Manufacturing, 18 Express, Moss Racing Engines. That's the 18R of Ryan Roberts. Ryan Roberts in the 18R. Jamie Ball making his way down the back straightaway, currently our points leader in 360 sprint car action here at the Knoxville Raceway on a weekly basis. 1 win this year in 360 competition. First lap time for Jamie Ball is 7th quick, a 15.852, 15852 for Jamie Ball. And Ryan Roberts' first lap time is 22nd quick, a 16.333, 16333 for Ryan Roberts. The second lap time for Jamie Ball is better. 5th quick, 15.678, 15678. And the second lap time for Ryan Roberts is slower, a 16.346, 16346, 22nd quick for Ryan Roberts.
Next two to make their way out for Seafoam qualifying from LaGrange, Ohio, the Heat Star Cherries Outdoor World. Chalk Sticks Elite Wings Mr. Heater 11N of Casey Jedrzejek. And from Apollo, Pennsylvania, in car number 42, the Mercedes Motorsports Ducati of Pittsburgh Diesel Property Management, Mike Kleck Paving entry of Cy Lynch. Casey Jedrzejek in the 11N, Cy Lynch in the 42. First lap time for Casey Jedrzejek. 16.630, 16630. Cy Lynch's first lap, 11th quick at a 15.934, 15934. Jedrzejek up to 23rd quickest in flight A, 16.332, 16332. Cy Lynch goes to 16.096, his first lap better at 15.934.
Pushing out from Pleasantville, Iowa, driving the Ruan. Work for Ruan.com, Boyer Course Show Cattle. Ulrich Ford, that's the 3P of Sawyer Phillips. And from T, South Dakota, driving the Pequot Tool and Manufacturing, Hearst Precision Parts, Travis Electric, Epoxyco, 168 Manufacturing. That's the 5X of Justin Henderson. Justin Henderson in the 5X. Sawyer Phillips, a one-time winner here at the Knoxville Raceway here this season in 360 competition. Justin Henderson, best finish this season, a second up at the Houston Speedway in 410 action. First lap time for Sawyer Phillips is 21st quick, a 16.197, 16197. And the first lap time for Justin Henderson is 3rd quick, 15.611, 15611 for Justin Henderson. The second lap time for Sawyer Phillips, better, 18th quick, 16.054, 16054. And the second lap time for Justin Henderson is slower, a 15.934, 15934, but he'll take his first lap, 3rd quick for Henderson.
From Adel, Iowa, in the dirt draft, KRM and Tanzanite Homes, Carl Coons Agency, TNS Industries, Microlight Feed Ingredient, number 1K, Kelby Watts. And joining Kelby from Des Moines, Iowa, in the Interstate Batteries Hy-Vee Dental Autojet 55T, McKenna Hassey. Kelby Watt in the 1K, McKenna Hassey in the 55T. Kelby 9th in the C-Main on Saturday night here at last year's NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals. 305 winner here back in 2018. First lap time for Kelby Watt, 16.367, 16367. McKenna Hassey on lap 1, 19th quick at a 16.075, 16075. Hassey owns 2 career victories here in 360 competition. Watt a little better on lap 2 at a 16.209, 16209. McKenna Hassey's second lap time slows to a 16.110. She'll take the first lap of 16.075.
From Sioux Falls, South Dakota, driving the Ricer Grain, EMM Sales and Service, Gift CPA, IOC, Al Driveline, Autzen Underground, that's the 58 of Caleb Johnson. And from Burlington, Iowa, driving the Schaefer Construction, Dennis Woodworth, Flex Suites on Naples, Rexco Equipment, Maxim Trucking, that's the 15 Junior of Cole Meitzer. Cole Meitzer in the 15 Junior. Caleb Johnson, a winner last week in 360 Nationals preliminary night competition. The first lap time for Caleb Johnson is 20th quick, a 16.081, 16081. And the first lap time for Cole Meitzer is 28th quick, a 16.263, 16263 for Cole Meitzer. Caleb Johnson, second lap time, better, 9th quick, 15.862, 15862 for Caleb Johnson. And the second lap time for Cole Meitzer is slower, a 16.602, 16602.
Next to hit the speedway from Altoona, Iowa, the DeBerg Concrete, Justice Brothers, CM Rock, Bosma Family Farm, Skadden Construction, number 24, T-Mac, Terry McCarl. And from West Burlington, Iowa, aboard the Land Pride, Morning Sun Farm Implement, Fenton Massey Ferguson Metalcraft, number 49J, Josh Schneiderman. Terry McCarl in 24, Josh Schneiderman in the 49J. Seven-time Knoxville Raceway champion Terry McCarl on the clock. Opening lap for T-Mac will be a 16.234, 16234. First lap for Josh Schneiderman, 16.346, 16346. McCarl to the 13th spot on lap number 2 at a 15.903, 15903. Schneiderman a little bit better at the second time by as well, 16.295, 16295.
From Neptune City, New Jersey, driving the Capital Renegade Custom Coaches and Trailers, Henry's Wrecker Service, that's the 91 of Kyle Reinhardt. And from Cherryville, North Carolina, driving the Mid-Nebraska Land Developers, M&R Manufacturing, 18 Express, Moss Racing Engines, that's the 23M of Lance Moss. Lance Moss in the 23M. Kyle Reinhardt off of turn number 4. First lap time for Reinhardt is 27th quick, a 16.207, 16207. And the first lap time for Lance Moss is 36 quick, a 16.737, 16737. Kyle Reinhardt's second lap time across the board is better, 25th quick, a 16.166, 16166 for Kyle Reinhardt. And the second lap time for Lance Moss is better as well, 36 quick, a 16.694, 16694.
From Canton, Illinois, in the NOS Energy Drink, Logan Contractor Supply, TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Zip Bonds, number 55C, it's Chris Wyndham. And joining him from Liston, Indiana, driving the Horsepower Incorporated Pennock Insurance, Donna's Pool and Patio, number 23L, Jimmy Light. Chris Wyndham in the 55C, Jimmy Light in the 23L. Wyndham 8th in the C main at last year's Nationals finale. His first lap time this evening is 19th quick at a 16.041, 16041. Jimmy Light 26th fastest so far at a 16.160, 16160. Second time around for Chris Wyndham, up to 16th quick at a 15.992, 15992. Jimmy Light goes 16.116, 16116.
Your final two cars here for our first flight of qualifying, pushing out on the track now. From Pleasantville, Iowa, driving the I-80 Concrete, Dibbledoe, Ankeny Home Service, Pro Diesel, Pearson Dirtworks. That's the 1D of Tasker Phillips. And from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, driving the Electric Construction Company, Fluth Reynolds, Parker Engines, Bear Billboards, Action Auto Parts. That's the 40 of Clint Garner. Clint Garner in the 40. Tasker Phillips, a 3-time winner this season. One of those wins coming in 410 competition here at the Knoxville Raceway. Clint Garner currently second in our 360-point standings here at Knoxville. First lap time for Tasker Phillips is 32nd quick, a 16.231, and Clint Garner goes 38th quick, a 16.430, 16430. The second lap time for Tasker Phillips is better, 27th quick, a 16.133, and Clint Garner goes 22nd quick, a 16.059, 16059 for Clint Garner.
Flight A has been completed. Donnie Schatz, your fast qualifier in Flight A this evening at 15.374, 120.593 miles per hour. Austin McCarl second quickest at a 15.434. Justin Henderson third at a 15.611. Linton Jeffrey fourth and Aaron Reitzel fifth. Jamie Ball sixth quickest. Tanner Holmes seventh. Brenham Crouch eighth. Caleb Johnson ninth. Jack Dover 10th. Then Spencer Baston 11th and J.J. Hickel 12th. The top 12 we give you because we invert 4 cars in each of 3 heat races for the drivers in Flight A. And so those drivers making the heat race inversion, J.J. Hickel, Spencer Baston, and Jack Dover will start on the pole of heat race action for the drivers in Flight A. We'll cross some folks through the gates, backstretch, and in turn number 4 and get set for Flight B of Seafoam qualifying to set the lineups for heats 1, 2, and 3 for Flight B. So again, just a couple of moments to get everybody across the racetrack. Lots of folks still rolling into the Knoxville Raceway for FVP Hard Knocks Night of the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Downstairs to Connor Wade.
What a big way to start the night for Donnie Schatz. A big recovery from struggles in the prelims on Wednesday. But my main reason for popping on a quick update on Tim Schaefer. He slowed to a stop in his hot lap session earlier in the night, and I caught up with the 2010 Knoxville Nationals champion. Nothing to be majorly concerned with. The car just popped out of gears, so they didn't really change anything. Just going to hope that that doesn't happen again. They're going to go make their qualifying run here towards the end of Flight B. But when you talk about drivers with veteran experience, Tim Schaefer definitely has it, and he could use that to his advantage here on Hard Knocks prelim night. Good thing that that wasn't a bigger issue for Tim.
Thank you, Connor Wade. And so hopefully Tim Schaefer is able to compete in heat race action and maybe gain some spots here this evening on FVP Hard Knocks night. And so the first 2 qualifiers in Flight B of Seafoam qualifying roll toward the speedway.
Rolling out first from Leduc, Alberta, Canada, the Warrior Building Development, Building Packages Direct, Nelson Brothers Construction, Pat Rack Dumpsters, car number 99, that's Skylar G. And from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the Wykerts Livestock, RB 4-wheel drive, Derek Snyder Self-Made Racing, York Excavating, car number 48, that's Danny Dietrich. Skylar G in the 99, Danny Dietrich in the 48. First lap time for Skylar G, 16.020, 16020. Lap number 1 for Danny Dietrich, 16.028, 16028. Second lap time for G is better, 15.901, 15901. And lap number 2 for Danny Dietrich, 16.223, 16223.
2 more drivers out for Seafoam qualifying. From Indianola, Iowa, the Wilco Services TI-22 Performance Linville Repair Team DGRD 6W of Dustin Selvage. And from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, in the Dirty Air X Performance Christensen Family Foundation, Donna's Pool and Patio, Haas Haulage number 25, it's Dason Pursley. Dustin Selvage in the 6W, Dason Persley in the 25. Dustin Selvage, 7 career 360 victories, 10th in the Microlight Last Chance Showdown on Saturday night last year at the Nationals. Opening lap this evening, 16.289, 1.6289. For Dason Persley, the first lap is third quick at a 16.2, 21.6220. USAC winner here on June 1st of this year. Second lap for Selvage, 16.450. First lap better at 16.289. Dason into the wall. Persley caught the wall coming out of turn number 4. Time will be a 16.937, but there was significant wall contact there for the Eggenberry Motorsports 25.
Next 2 cars to roll trackside from Enumclaw, Washington. The Casey Kane Racing with Mike Kerr, Brumo's Collection, Factory Kane Shocks, Kane Screen Print, car number 9. That's Casey Kane. And from Newton, Iowa, the IndyCar at Iowa Speedway, Hy-Vee Events, car number 9H of Landon Hansen. Casey Kane and Landon Hansen now on the clock. First lap time for Casey is second quick, 15.992, 1.5992. First lap time for Landon Hansen, 17.215, 1.7215. Second lap time for Casey Kane is a 16.007, 1.6007, and lap number 2 for Landon Hansen improves, 17.016, 1.7016.
Next 2 drivers to make their way out for Seafoam qualifying from Bloomington, Indiana, driving the Premier Motorsports, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Lumber and Things, Border Tire number 70, it's Craig Kinzer, and paired with him from Hanover, Pennsylvania in the Dryden Duramax C&D Rigging Federated Auto Parts Shark Racing, number 1S, Logan Schuhart. Craig Kinzer in the number 70, Logan Schuhart in the 1S. 2005 Knoxville Nationals winner, Craig Kinzer. Most recent Saturday night feature start came in 2016. Craig's opening lap time is 5th quick at a 16.266, 1.6266. Quick time for Logan Schuhart at a 15.740, 1.5740. Up to 5th for Craig Kinzer on lap 2 at a 16.130, 1.16131. Schuhart's second lap, 15.796. First lap, quickest so far in Flight B at a 15.740.
From Santa Rosa, California, the Sheety Coolers, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, Blackburn Construction, Smoker's First Cigar Bar. Car number 19H, that's Joel Myers Jr. And from Gravois Mills, Missouri, the Ozark Barge and Dock, Wet Steps, High Performance Lubricants, Hibbing Gravel, King's Tile. Car number 3G of Ayrton Jeniton. Ayrton Jeniton in the 3G. First lap time for Joel Myers, his 8th quick, 16.503. 1.6503. First lap time for Jeniton, 5th quick, 16.089, 1.6089. Lap number 2 for Myers is a 16.528, 1.6528. And lap number 2 for Jeniton, 16.341, 1.6341.
From Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, and car number 53, the Supreme Poultry Mama's Pizza Scorpion Raceware entry, that is Jesse Adard. And from Sanborn, Minnesota, and the Tromp Farms, Joe Pinion Trucking, Wonder Check Ag Service, Anderson Farms, Golden Harvest Enogen, number 24T, Christopher Trom. Jesse Adard in the 53, Christopher Trom in the 24T. Trom, 23rd on the seas Saturday night last year in his Knoxville Nationals debut. First lap time for Jesse Adard is 10th quick at a 16.641, 1.6641. And for Christopher Traum, opening lap 7th fastest at a 16:159, 16159. Adart second lap 17:169, first lap better at 16:641. Christopher Traum second time around is a 16:363. He'll stay on the first lap of 16:159.
Rolling off next from Odessa, Missouri, the Motorhaven Schnee Lawson Chassis TNT Performance Equine. Design Source Flooring, car number 74, it's Xavier Doney. And from Indianapolis, Indiana, the Edco General Contractors, Daystar Directional Drilling Collision Concepts, Horsepower Incorporated 35 of Zach Hampton. Zach Hampton in the 35. First lap time for Xavier Doney, 10th quick, 16:461, 16461. First lap time for Hampton, now 10th quick, 16:391, 16391. Lap number 2 for Xavier Doney is a 16:560, 16560. And lap number 2 is better for Zach Hampton, 9th quickest, 16:221, 16221.
From Lemoore, California, in the Tarleton & Son Complete Parts and Equipment Solutions, Executive Honest Sales Empire Machinery, Bandy & Associates, number 21T, it's Cole Macedo. And joining him from Lubbock, Texas, in the Taco Casa, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Burkham Contracting, Scott Baylor Racing Engines, J2, John Carney. Cole Macedo in 21T, John Carney in the J2. Opening lap for Cole Macedo, 5th quick at a 16:080, 16080. John Carney's first lap time at a 16:611, 16611. Macedo 7th in last year's Saturday night D main. Second time by better, it is still 5th quickest at a 16:057, 16057. Second lap time for John Carney at a 16:489, 16489. That places him 13th of 16 so far in Flight B of Seafoam qualifying.
Rolling off next from Springfield, Illinois, the Rockstar Energy Drink Flamin' Hot, Rhine Auto, Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh. Car number 65, that's Jordan Goldsberry. And from Billings, Montana, the C&L Service, Belt Clothing, JJM Performance. Car number 28 of Joe Perry. Joe Perry in the 28. First lap time for Jordan Goldsberry is a 16:730, 16730. First lap time for Joe Perry, 17:595, 17595. Lap number 2 for Goldsberry is a 17:070, 17070. And Joe Perry's second lap is a 17:716, 17716.
Leading the next pair of Seafoam qualifiers onto the speedway from Lincoln, Nebraska, driving the Team Jack Foundation Angler Machine and Tool King Racing Products, Chalkstick Schoenfeld number 1M, that is Don Trout Jr. And from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the Sitgard Engine Oil, Hample Oil, Mystic Lubricants, Western Flyer Express, Deathridge Optical, number 5T of Ryan Timms. Don Trout Jr. in the 1M, Ryan Timms in the 5T. Drought is qualified for 5 Saturday night features at the Knoxville Nationals. Best finished 9th in 2006. His most recent Saturday feature start came in 2011. First lap time for Don Trout Jr. is 16:486, 16486. Ryan Timms on lap 1, a 16:735, 16735. Timms 11th in last year's Microlight Last Chance Showdown on Saturday night. Drought's second lap is a 16:566. First lap better at 16:486. Ryan Timms on lap number 2 goes 16:990. First lap official at 16:735.
Next on the clock from Sanssouci, New South Wales, Australia, the Protofab Engineering, Mystic Lubricants, Freight-Alone Company, Stillwater Motors. Car number 14T, this is Brooke Tatnall. And from Grimes, Iowa, the Chem Morris Phillips Floors, Academy Roofing, Maxwell Air Service, Pro Diesel. Car number 2M is Ryan Giles. Ryan Giles in the 2M. First lap time for Brooke Tatnall is 19th quick, 16.736, 16736. First lap time for Ryan Giles is 9th quickest, 16.165, 16165. Lap number 2 for Tatnall is better, 16.724, 16724. And Ryan Giles, second lap, not quite as quick as the first, 16.409, 16409.
Next pair on the speedway from Knoxville, Iowa, driving car number 22, the QTC Goodnoe Promotion, Stivers, Ford, Lincoln, Schilling, Excavating entry. It's Riley Goodnoe. And from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, behind the wheel of the Rudzik Excavating, Centerline Boring, Smith Titanium, DNR Racing, number 49X, the Steel City Outlaw, Tim Schaefer. Riley Goodnoe in 22, Tim Schaefer in the 49X. 2010 Knoxville Nationals winner, Tim Schaefer. First lap time for Riley Goodnoe, 13th quick, 16.417, 16417. Tim Schaefer's opening lap into the top 10, 10th quick at a 16.218, 16218. Second lap for Riley Goodnoe is better. It's 13th quick at a 16.266, 16266. Tim Schaefer stops the clock at a 16.349. His first lap better at 16.218.
From Overland Park, Kansas, in the J.B. Henderson Construction, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, Miller Bonded, car number 45X. That's Jace Park. Jace Park in the 45X. And from 6 Mile, South Carolina, the Tear Off Apparel, Reynolds Farms, Black Swamp Trucking, Van Der Ecken Motorsports, car number 10V of Brian Paulus. Brian Paulus in the 10V. First lap time for Jace Park, 16.459. That's 15th quick, 16.459. Lap 1 for Paulus is 20th quick, 16.531, 16531. Lap number 2 for Park is a 16.563, 16563. And lap 2 for Brian Paulus, 16.580, 16580.
From Angola, Indiana, driving car number 26, the Radine Racing, Sundollar Restoration, Ford Performance, Sage Fruit, Race Radine Foundation entry, it's Zeb Wise. And joining him from Minden, Nevada, in the Smith Titanium Holovodka, Rod Gross Motorsports, Mesilla Valley Transportation Factory Cane, 88T, it's Tanner Thorson. Zeb Wise in the 26, Tanner Thorson in the 88T. First lap for Zeb Wise, 15th quickest, 16.289, 16289. Thorson's opening lap, 16.707, 16707. Wise up to 13th quick the second time by 16.231, 16231. Tanner Thorson's second lap time improves to 16th at a 16.390, 16390.
So everyone chasing Logan Schuhart, 15.740. Next to clock in from Altoona, Iowa. Driving the Jetco, Blondie Motorsports, Prosper Real Estate, DeBerg Concrete, Aggressive Hydraulics, Coleman Backyard Grills, car number 27. That's Carson McCarl. And from San Jose, California, the Acres Away Ag, Dakota Alignment Elite Truck, Lunster Motorsports, First National Bank, car number 3, TK Tim Kading. Carson McCarl picked up his first 410 feature win here at the Knoxville Raceway this season. First lap time for him is 17th quick, 16.433, 1.6433. First lap time for Kading, 16th quickest, 16.331, 1.6331. Lap number 2 for Carson McCarl is better, 17th quick, 16.386, 1.6386. And lap number 2 for Kading, not quite as quick as the first, 16.517. His first lap better, 16.331.
Next two Seafoam qualifiers from Sikeston, Missouri, the High Breeder Foundation Service Marchand Cattle Company Inland Rigging, number 19, S of Hunter Schurenberg. And along with him, from Eagle, Nebraska, the Forbes Motorsports by Salesman.com American Trailer Company, Cherney Enterprises, Druki Trucking 95 of Tyler Druki. First lap time for Schurenberg, 8th quick at a 16.153, 1.6153. Tyler Druki's opening lap, 16.908, 1.6908. Fourth quick on lap 2 for 100% at a 16.017, 1.6017. Druki's second lap time is a little bit better at a 16.889, 1.6889.
Next two cars to clock in from St. Mary's, New South Wales, the TK Concrete, King Racing Products, Zip Bonds, Maxim Trucking and Materials, BR Motorsports. Car number 55, the Madman, Kerry Madsen. And from Sunnyvale, Texas, driving the Townline Variety, TrueNorth.bet, CigarPort.ca, High Performance Lubricants. Car number 15H of Sam Haferteep Jr. Sam Haferteep Jr. in the 15H. First lap time for Madsen, 16.363, 1.6363. And first lap time for Haferteep is a 16.420, 1.6420. Lap number 1 for Sam Haferteep Jr. Kerry Madsen on lap number 2 is better, 17th quick, 16.302, 1.6302. And lap number 2 for Haferteep is a 16.537, 1.6537.
Next two on the speedway for Seafoam qualifying from Franklin, Indiana, the WCI Petrie Excavating KPM Capital Industries, 27A of Emerson Axum. And from Huron, South Dakota, driving the at Showtime Terwilliger Electric Olympic Motors number 2K, it's Kevin Ingle. Emerson Axum in 27A, Kevin Ingle in the number 2K. Axum, couple of top 5 finishes here in 410 action and a 360 victory in 2024 at Knoxville. Third quick on lap 1 at a 15.941, 1.5941. First lap time for Ingle, 16.566, 1.6566. Second time around for Emerson Axum is a 16.055 first lap. Better at 15.941. Kevin Ingle's second lap time is a 16.834. His first lap official at 16.566.
From Kokomo, Indiana, the Chalk Stick Torsion Bars, Elite Wings of Poxico, High Performance Lubricants, car number 9P. This is Parker Price Miller. And from Sapulpa, Oklahoma, in the Smileys, Glenn Stires Racing, Aces Up Sim Sports, CSR Garage, Scissor Tails Racing Development, car number 52. This is Blake Hahn. Blake Hahn in the 52. First lap time for Parker Price Miller, 15th quick, 16.221. 1.6221. First lap time for Blake Hahn. 7th quick, 16.055. 1.6055. Lap number 2 for Parker Price Miller. Better, 13th quick, 16.168. 1.6168. And lap number 2 for Blake Hahn, 16.311. His first lap better, 16.055.
And the evening's final Seafoam qualifier works his way onto the speedway from Fairland, Indiana, driving the Michael Dutcher Motorsports Lifestyle Homes Griffin's Propane Parallax Motorsports. Number 17 GP, here's Cale Thomas. Cale Thomas in the 17 GP. Cale Thomas takes the green flag. 6th on the second C main in the Capitani Classic here on Sunday evening. 7th last year in a 360 Nationals prelim. His best finish at the Knoxville Raceway. Victorious on 6 occasions in 2024. 22nd quick on lap 1. 16.366, 16.366. Second lap time for Cale Thomas, 9th quick at a 16.076, 16.076 for Cale Thomas. And that concludes Flight B of Seafoam qualifying. Logan Schuhart fastest, 15.740. Skylar G second, 15.901. Emerson Axum third, 15.941. Casey Kane fourth. Hunter Schurenberg fifth. Danny Dietrich sixth. Blake Hahn seventh. Cole Macedo eighth. Cale Thomas ninth. Ayrton Jennison 10th. Craig Kinzer 11th. And Christopher Traum 12th. Those are the drivers that make the inversion for the 3 heat races for Flight B of Seafoam qualifying. So Seafoam qualifying in the books, heat races being calculated, and gives us an opportunity to step away here on Dirt Vision. We'll be back with more from the sprint car capital of the world.
You know, if given the option, Friday night would be an off night for any of the drivers in competition at the 63rd NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. For 26 drivers, it most certainly was. But the 79 yet to officially qualify, Hard Knocks Friday is the biggest qualifying night in terms of entries at the Nationals. And while points are done, performance is still mandatory, as the quick time award from the split field came from just a few moments ago. You witnessed it as Donnie Schatz, racing on a Friday night for the first time since 1997, did what he had to do, at least putting himself in position for his 26th straight A-main appearance. Dave Reed for the Dirt Vision studio, and if you thought the first 2 qualifying nights were intense, tonight that level should only go up, especially with only 4 positions awarded to the A-main event. The top 4 finishers tonight earning starting positions 21 through 24 in the Saturday night Nationals finale. Behind them, though, from 5th on down tonight, the best you can start on Saturday is 11th in the B-main, as the finishing order of tonight's C, 2 Bs, and the A fill out the remainder of the championship night features. And for those of you that have tuned in to Dirt Vision's gratis portion of the Knoxville Nationals, well, this is where we unfortunately have to say so long, but hopefully not for long, as we hope to see you like what you see, and we will see you again. It would be our privilege for you to join the Dirt Vision family either month to month or a year at a time, or even for tomorrow night's finale at the times you see on your screen. You need more details? It's easy. Just head to dirtvision.com to find out what option works best for you. With 7 national series and 12 weekly racetracks, the only place to watch the greatest shows on dirt is right here on Dirt Vision.
This has been a presentation of Dirt Vision, a World Racing Group property. For information about upcoming broadcasts, follow us on social media, including Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also watch more than 2,500 classic races and shows anytime at dirtvision.com or the Dirt Vision app.